All right, all right. Hey, everyone, welcome to such a special day today with the MX Media Group. Yes, the show is happening. Emotional Prankster said, "Is the show happening?" Yes, it is. Hi, Naima. Everyone say hello. Put your X's up. Y'all know where this comes from? This actually comes from the tools. So when we as ancestors were entered into the earth, when we were making that transition, this hand held a spear and the other one held a shovel for the digging. So these were actually, that's why that's the symbol. And it became known with Wakanda, but that was the symbol. That's how we were entered into the earth. So this is phenomenal to see how this has come back around. We got African Millennial in here. Y'all, we're gonna get such a great discussion going today. Welcome, sis. Hello, Tanjanzu. Hello, Naima. The show is happening. Yes, the Glow Goes Live. MX Media Group is here to present. And I love that we are talking about this topic, especially on the day of today, because I came from a wonderful event this afternoon here in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. And I met some phenomenal vendors. And so I'm really looking forward because the organizer of this particular event, she and I are going to discuss me organizing some more African, American melanated vendors for the next expo farmers market that she's doing. Hello, men need knowledge. Absolutely. What's going? What's going? It's all going. It's going on. And we were able to have some great conversations. I sold some earrings, y'all. I got some new orders for some of my my planned prepaid planned meal to glow, keto friendly meals. So it's just a really beautiful day, and like I said, the energy was definitely up and glowing today, so to speak. And it started out really good. I watched uh I watched a video from Zaza Ali. If you all don't know Zaza Ali and her work, please take a look at her and subscribe. She has amazing content, and I'm sad that Atlanta just lost her. She moved back to California. She moved back to LA. She left about 2 weeks ago. She drove, so she's now back on the West Coast. But you all, she's been dropping some amazing videos lately, and it basically just it's confirmation. It confirms something that we've always said. It doesn't matter who sits in the highest seat in the land as far as the president, when you know who sits on the throne. When you sit on the throne, it's gonna be good regardless. But we're definitely going to be talking about what we need to know and what we need to be where our mindset needs to be when we are looking forward. We are looking forward as a people, as a community, as a culture, and as a diaspora. And the consensus was just basically there today at that market at the expo, just really speaking to the fact that us having our own businesses and organizing our own markets and organizing our own exchange opportunities for monetary advancement and progress, it really is the way of the future. So what we want to talk about today, hello, greetings. Hello, greetings. If we see everybody coming in, y'all coming in, put your X's up and your lighters up, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. MX Media Group is in here, so put your X's up so we know you're coming in here. Y'all know that I'm on StreamYard. I'm not on YouTube, so I can't see. We have a little delay, so I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. But S Man the African, absolutely, absolutely. So we're talking about doing business while doing better Black business. What are the concerns or issues, or what are some hangups that we have with doing business with one another? So I introduce myself. I'm Courtney Omega. I am the organizer of MX Media Group. I am a student of the illustrious, the admirable, the legendary Malcolm X. And putting together this group was definitely I felt like it pays homage not just to the man that Malcolm X became, but to the man that Malcolm Little was. As you all know, on the Omega Courtney channel, the Glow Up Network, we pride ourselves on being accountable, on being purposeful, living life with purpose, and as well as the journey, giving respect to the journey. I wasn't always the woman that I am now, absolutely. So I definitely appreciate the transition that Malcolm X had or that he made. And I always pay homage to that with not just how I conduct myself, but also the engagements and the connections that I make in respect to that understanding. So that's who I am. I am a business owner. I own 3 businesses right now. One of them is a business that organizes work for teenagers seeking to improve, increase awareness, as well as improve the visibility, the look of their communities. So that is Teen Children to Grow, Bistro to Go, or as some of you release. I do media. So I am a writer and I own my own media writing company and I am an insurance broker. But, I don't really consider that my business, so to speak, because right now I have no agents under me. It's just a service that I provide. But I am also an insurance broker. But that is who I am. I'm going to put myself on mute and let everyone else on the panel introduce themselves. I believe Brother William, you're next. Brother William, are you there? Can you hear us? Okay, Keisha, do you want to go next?
Can you hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Now you can?
Now we can hear you, Brother William. If you want to go ahead and Keisha, you go after him.
I have to get another phone. I get another phone, so it won't be no problem next week. I'd like to say hi to everybody on the line. Appreciate everybody getting on. Thank you for inviting me on, Courtney. Thank you very much. The Queen of Atlanta. I'd like to say that I am the leader of the Black Youth Congress. It's a new organization that I formed. Could y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. It's an organization I formed off the basis of the question that a lot of our young were asking, where is the money? I say, you know what? Let's answer that in an organizational form. So actually, that's what it's all about. Economic development for our young, teaching them how to make money and to build as well, build credit and everything else, the whole 9 yards. So my occupation is plumbing. I do plumbing. So if you're in Atlanta, I will do your plumbing. I will give you a discount, especially if you're on this thread. Like I say, I love this. I love this type of activity, and I hope this will be a regular by Sister Courtney. Thank you again. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Keisha Green, a transformational life coach, youth advocate, peer mentor for the youth. But I straggled away from that for a while, but I want to get back into it. And I'm originally born and raised in Philadelphia, but I have been through Atlanta and Miami and various other places in between. And cool. Yeah, so I've been home in Georgia. So Papa Do's, I think that's the name of that restaurant, Papa Do's. Yeah. I breezed through Georgia. I made my home in Georgia before, but just a brief introduction about me. All right.
And African millennial, if you want to share about your businesses and who you are as well.
Hi, so my name is Deborah. I will not say my last name just because I'm a bit of a character. I'm a little bit militant with some of the views that I have. So for my own protection, I don't say who I am, but you guys could definitely check out who I am. I have a company that I co-own. It's called Black Star Taxes. Black Star Taxes, and we deal with doing people's taxes. We also help people who are younger to start their own businesses. We're really into that and really into managing. We also help the younger people know how to do coding because we believe that we as a people, we kind of have to learn more skills and do for self a little bit more. Because when we tend not to do that, then we kind of get trapped in certain systems. So we're just trying to wake people up, not only by telling people, you know what, you gotta be more pro whatever you are, but actually doing it in your life. You know, that's something that Malcolm X himself even talked about. You can't just say, okay, I know there's a problem. You gotta actively be a part of the solution. So that is a little bit about what I do and what I believe in.
Right,
absolutely, absolutely, you all. Great introduction. I feel very blessed to be in the presence of all of you all tonight. Definitely, and peace and shalom to the room. We have some great glowers and lighters in the room tonight. So thank you all. So the first thing that we want to unpack is um, having a business. Why this is important. I'm going to start with African millennial just because, you know, you all, I have been learning so much from this sister's page. And her network is phenomenal. When I tell you, African millennial, you are such a leader. You are such a lighter. When you tell your people to come on board, they check in. I have gotten great emails and just such great feedback from your audience. I want to thank you. You know, like I said, you set a record, you know, when you came onto the show on Tuesday night, because usually, especially with it being off night, as well as with it being an off time, you know, somebody with our room was like, what's happening here? Why are there so many people? So I said, look at what African millennial is over here starting. But I love how you embrace and engage with the idea of being a business owner, especially being as young as you are. I want us to talk about the significance of having a business. Okay. So first going to start with you, African millennial, and then of course, Sister Keisha and Brother William, you can jump in anywhere after that.
Okay.
Absolutely. And by the way, it is an honor to be with you guys here on this panel. I always love it when I see, you know, like-minded people because I don't know what it is, but unfortunately, I would say in our community, the idea of being a business owner or starting a business is not really something that a lot of people think about. And I think that it's really important being a business owner because not only I could say this and you guys could chime in as well if it happened to you, but as I actually became a business owner, not only did it raise my self-confidence, but I also acquired new skills that I never thought I needed. You know what I mean? It's like you don't even know how much work goes behind these businesses. And when you actually own your own business, you are forced to learn new skills. And that makes you all around a better person. You know what I mean? Because you are your customer service. You are the person who does the marketing. You are the manager. You are this. You are that. And then if you get to a level where your business is really successful, then you have to actually start managing other people, talk to other people. And it's honestly a skill that I think is being lost because especially in our society, we're kind of just used to other people doing things for us and paying other people to do things for us, where we kind of lose confidence in ourselves, you know? So I think that more people definitely should be starting their own businesses, not only because they learn more, they're they're better also able to take care of their future. Like right now with this virus and this pandemic, it pains me that some people have lost their sources of income. It really makes me feel really, really bad. But at the same time, this also was an opportunity for some people to actually think about going on their own. I personally have a lot of friends who right now they're teaching online. They become online homeschoolers. So this moment has also forced some people to think outside of the box. So I kind of like that aspect of it as well. And we got to keep this trend going. We have to make sure that we pass this information also to the younger people who are coming up. Because guys, I know I said this last time, but when I really see the amount of debt that some of our younger brothers and sisters are graduating with, it's like, oh my God. Like whew, there has to be another way. You know, that's what it is for me.
Mm-hmm.
Such key points there. Something I want to point out in particular before just to briefly set in before Sister Keisha and Brother William, is that when you talk about the skill set that you don't even realize that you need until you are working a business. Y'all know I like to talk. I feel like I'm a communicator, but the communication has to be different in different levels when you're a business owner as opposed to when you're communicating as a customer, and I think that's what was one of the biggest things that I've learned since becoming a business owner. And you all have to realize, or I would love to share with you all, when people say, well, Courtney, that may be easy for you because you just seem so business minded. I didn't come, my family, my parents didn't own a business. They didn't. I grew up with people whose parents owned businesses, but mine didn't. They were teachers and then they went to being social workers. But as far as what I knew from my parents of all the years that I was living was that they were all the years that they were living, rather, because my mother, like I said, transitioned when I was a teenager. They were 9-to-5ers, very educated, but they were 9-to-5ers. They were social workers. They thought outside the box, but they went to work every day. We traveled well, we lived well, but they definitely went to work every day. And I'm going to bring that conversation a little later, especially something happened today that really just it got me in my it got me in my spirit, it got me in my heart, and I want to talk about that a little later. But Sister Keisha, please share the significance or the importance of owning your own business.
It creates generational wealth, and then you can also create multiple streams of income. You get to tell the story of the family. Like for my lineage, the Green family, I want us to have multiple streams of income. I want us to be Forex trade and cryptocurrency carrot bars. I want us generating a nice income so that way we ain't got to go to the enemy for nothing. We ain't got to go to nobody's bank. Wait a minute, we are the bank. How much money we got in the Green Trust? Let's go do that now. We got to get into that. It's financial planning as well. You can have a successful business if you do it right the first time. It's steps, it's levels to this. Start sitting with, again, we got to have these conversations with accountants, lawyers, financial planners. Go to places like the library, look up how to start a business for $2,000 and under, because you can start a business on a shoestring budget. Learn how to Forex trade, cryptocurrency, carrot bars, gold and silver, because they're getting ready to change the currency. Cash is not going to be worth anything. So we better get hip to these different currencies that's out here, because we may have to start accepting them as methods of payment, because as times change and everything's going online, we got to be with the times. We got to up on the payments. If somebody's paying with cryptocurrency, we got to know how to process that. So you get to tell the story of the family, exactly, African millennial, but you're building that generational wealth as well. We're able to keep generations, our children's children can have money and live comfortably. And we never got to touch it.
Beautiful sentiment.
That's
Beautiful sentiment. And we have to. I tell you what's funny is that today, like at the market, I got that square on me when I got product or not. Don't play with me. I tell people let's prepay, swipe. I keep that square on me. It don't matter. And like, well, where your product? You can order it. Let's prepay for it. Prepay so we can pre-play. Absolutely. Brother William, just the significance or the importance of having a business, having your own business. What can you share?
Okay, I can share that having my own business. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
Good, good. You have my own business is a sense of freedom. It's a sense of freedom. It ain't like a 9 to 5. Not put a 9 to 5 down, but when I'm late for something, they say, okay. I say I'm a little late. I'll be there about 30 minutes. Make it an hour. So okay, cool. I work for myself. I'm a plumber. But when you're 9 to 5, I'm gonna be a little late. If you don't get here on time, I'm gonna write you up. So kind of like a little more, a little more freedom. That's important. And when you got that freedom, it also gives you also an opportunity to express yourself in very unique ways. So you can open up more. You got more confidence. You got more courage. You got more time to do things. And so on and so forth. But one thing I do emphasize, and that's among the youth as well as the elders, is program form. Everything. The best education, the best way to facilitate educating our young and others, elders as well, is in program form. When I say program form, what I mean is that when you go to a church, mosque, or a school or whatever, you go there on a consistent basis. There's an order to it. There's rules, So in a program form, we can actually take something and we take it. We can extend it extensively. It can be a legacy because it's got to be in program form. If it's not in program form, it's gonna die out and disappear. So programs last forever for as long as the foundation is set correctly. So I'm a strong believer in forming programs, that will assist us and assist our people when it comes down to economic development. Thank you. Okay, that's why I rest my mic. I rest my mic. Could you hear me?
Y'all are really y'all are speaking such truth here today, especially when we talk about, and I want to just greet everybody that's coming in because we have people flowing in. Thank you all for being with us on a Saturday night. We know we could be doing some other things, but thank you for being in with us because, again, what African Millennial said is so true. We need to not just be talking about being aware of the issues, but solution execution, elevating the conversation, taking it BTB, as I often say. Y'all hear me throw out these acronyms: BTB, beyond the boards, and executing solution execution. So thank you again for mentioning that, African Millennial. The benefits of being your own boss. Can we talk about that for a second? Okay. Brother William, what you just said was so key. Let me tell you all. So, I want to say this: the best job I ever had, and Keisha knows, in Plymouth Meeting Mall, I was a surveyor. So, anybody that came into Plymouth Meeting Mall, that was before they moved everything out, the King of Prussia. So that Plymouth Meeting Mall was the mall, right? Because they moved everything out to King of Prussia, but it was the mall, and so that was like the gateway, so to speak. And when people came there, what I was actually supposed to do was I took surveys with what shops they were going to, what stores were being frequented the most, what materials or what purchases they were going to be making. And so, and we got paid, my survey company got paid to just have us out there talking to people all day. So it was an easy breezy job. I even liked it more than when I worked under Mayor Street's administration because of the flexibility. But people always would question me that and say, well, how come you like that job so much, but you got paid more at other jobs? I worked city halls in both Philadelphia and in Miami, and have worked in, government. And of course, the benefits are great, the pay is great, but it's the flexibility. I was able to come set my hours. If I wanted to just work, a Saturday one week, I would choose a survey that paid a lot, but only was given on Saturdays and Sundays, which were family surveys. That's when you had to interview the mama, the daddy, the kids. You could be there all day and you billing those hours. So we talk about that, but we don't realize that it's not just about, especially when you have family, it's not just about getting paid the most. It's about being able to be your own boss and being flexible with your time. So, Brother William, thank you for mentioning that. That was also something that was shared in the chat. And I just again want to give homage to a couple people in the room that just showed up. Miss Roots online, y'all know she set it on fire yesterday. She and Sister Tan John set it on fire yesterday. We're talking about the importance and significance of homeschooling homeschooling our children. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. See, that's why we got to have the millennial on deck. Millennial is up here. Miss Millennial is dropping out Instagram. She's dropping out social media. She's linking everything. Thank you so much, sis. We have Fresky Dean that's here from Mom and Daughter, which is actually a Filipino connection. That's another reason why having your own businesses are also very important, guys, because we need to have those international connections. Whereas when you don't have your own business and you're working for someone else, you literally you tend to think of your job as being your network, your job, and you think of the immediate people that you see every day. But when you have your own business, you have to kind of go beyond your borders. You have to reach out beyond who you see every day. And I appreciate you, Fresky Dean, for being here. Again, met Fresky Dean through Mom and Daughter, which is a Filipino-based chat group. But the work that Mom and Daughter has allowed me to have access to has been phenomenal. It's grown my channel exponentially. I encourage everyone, if you are interested in growing your brand, growing your channel, growing your outreach, and you are not uncomfortable with having the international exposure, because the honest truth is some of us are. But if you are not uncomfortable with having the international exposure, please reach out to Mom and Daughter. Anyone else want to weigh in about the significance of being your own boss? Because I know, Brother William, you set it off, and you said a whole word when you said, hey, if I want to come in an hour late, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to call my client directly and do that. And I can definitely speak to that, because I don't know about y'all, but I love my mornings. I love my mornings just to do what I want to do with them. If I want to spend another hour in the prayer closet, I want to do it. If I want to spend another hour in the bed, I want to do it. If I want to just decide I want to do breakfast this morning, I usually don't eat breakfast, but if I want to decide I want to do a breakfast this morning with my children, I'm going to do it. Tell you something enough about the things will align themselves when you have made that decision. When you made that decision, I made that decision years ago that I wasn't going to do a 9-to-5 no more. And I'm not saying every day has been bright skies, but I tell you what, and I say all the time, if the sun rises, I'm going to rise too. So the sun comes up, comes down, I'm going to bless them. I'm going to praise them. And I made that decision years ago that I didn't want to do 9-to-5s anymore. And when I tell you God has kept me, God has kept me. So it's amazing how things will work if you allow them to do just that. If you allow them to do just that, they'll work. What anyone else want to add to that? Yes, I am a script writer. Okay, he's back. Let me add him back in. Anyone else want to add to that, the significance of being your own boss? Keisha, I know you worked a lot of really, really great. You worked a lot of jobs where you got opportunities for seeing businesses on different angles. I would love for you to add to that.
For me, it was flexibility because when I had my first child, I was able to work from home because I learned drop shipping because I had started selling hair extensions. But then I said, well, wait a minute, if I'm selling hair extensions, can't I sell earrings and sell the outfits too? And I started doing that, and I could do it from home, breastfeeding my son while talking to a customer. I had flexibility. My son is 21 now. And for me, it was just being able to stay at home. I didn't have to leave unless I had to go run an errand, go shopping, pay a bill or something. I could put the baby in the car seat. We can go about our business. For me, it was flexibility. It wasn't one of those things, oh, ma'am, you got to cover that up. You can't do that. I'm in my own house. I can work from home. And then I don't have to worry about the environment of certain employers because when you got bad management and bad employees, it throws the whole environment off. A lazy manager that once was a cashier, now that they manager, they ain't got the ring, they ain't got to talk to the customers, they can go hide in the office. That was the worst. And I learned that the hard way. I worked in retail and I had a lazy manager that once was a cashier, and that's what used to make me mad. Wait a minute, you were a cashier once, you manager, so you ain't got the ring no more. You ain't. Hold on, huh? Then I had to wait for my relief, who was always late, and that's the worst. When your relief is never on time. You like, wait, I gotta wait for this motherfucker again. Yeah, okay. And then you already know they coming with some bad news 5 minutes before you clock out. Wait, what's going on? Oh, Danny said he gonna be 20 minutes late. What, Danny, last night when I was leaving? Yeah, well, this time his dog on his cousin's side just died. Oh my God! Now I'm late picking my child up. I gotta wait for this idiot to come. And then if you got a child in daycare, when you're late, you gotta pay daycare fees. These people don't care about stuff. You're like, oh my God, this guy's late once again. You be like, can I go to another department? Do you got somebody else in mind for this position? Now, if you got great management, great employees, yeah, but that toxic environment, that bad workplace, and then the customers can't stand some of your coworkers. And you could tell when a customer can't stand your coworker. Is that Caitlin again? She made it to work this time. They know your coworker business better than you. Oh, she ain't at the bar drinking tonight, huh? Damn, Miss Mary, how you know that? Oh, girl, I drink at the same bar she do. She ain't nothing but an old hoe. Miss Mary know all the business. Be like, all right, Miss Mary. Yeah, she drink at the same bar I do, girl. She a sloppy drunk. She all right. Can't work with them. I like the flexibility. If I want to work 9 a.m. to 1 and take my child to the zoo for the next 4 hours, I ain't got to hear nobody mouth, Keisha, what time you gonna be done with that? We need you here. Nope. 1 o'clock come on, baby, we're going to the zoo. We going to IHOP. We going somewhere. I was just tired. And then retail, you get tired quickly. You start to hate customers. I've worked at Dollar Tree and I've worked at Giant. And they call, especially in the morning. Y'all know we open at 8 a.m. and they'll call 8 in the morning. Are you guys open? Yeah, yes, we're open. Yeah. My other favorite. Do you work here? Yes. Okay. How much is this? It's now I'm telling you, make you hate people. Retail. I couldn't wait to get out of retail, and I worked every day. I said, you know what? I might not have no money for a loan. If I got to save a quarter a day, I'm getting the hell out of here because I'm going to catch a case in these places. Stupid questions. I said, if I got to save $1 per week for 52 weeks, we going to save them dollars. I might have to cut something out, but I'm not staying here. 40, I got to wait 1 year for a 40-cent raise. That's a ripoff right there. I said, oh no, I must go. I gave myself a time limit. I said 2 to 5 years. If I can get out in 2 years, I'm gone. This is 5 years is what I'm giving myself. Yeah, I had to put a time.
That's so significant. And I've heard being said by I've heard that being said by a number of people. If they do have to go work a 9 to 5, we want to welcome to the panel our passionate Bliss. She is so want to welcome her to the panel as well. But that's something that is a good piece of advice right there, Keish, that I do share with people. If you must, I tell people all the time, I look at jobs as a project. You know, I do not look at jobs as, oh, okay, let me be in here. Man, when I was at Paul in Philadelphia, I wonderful man. I used to go together often. He was my work husband, if you will. And he said, yeah, I only have six more years and I'll be here 26 years. I said 26. I was, and mind you, all I was 26 at the time. So I said, in 6 more years, you will have worked this job my whole life. And he said, yeah, but 6 more years, I'll be, I'll be in my retirement. I'll be ready. I'll be eligible for retirement. Mind you, he said, I'll be eligible. Not that I'm retiring. I'll be eligible. And I mean, and this dude was so, when I tell you he was bright, he was brilliant. You all, the corporation plantation robbed so many of our most intellectual, our most, our brightest stars. The corporation plantation literally robs us of them. Because instead of this gentleman's name was Cal, beautiful guy, smart guy, we had some of the conversations about, about community development. This is where I was even in the mindset of being a political leader or anything like that. But he has such an interest in just relationships and building up people, families, engagement, recreational activities. And I said, wow, why aren't you, a coach somewhere? And he's like, oh no, overtime pays too much. He wasn't gonna be a coach at no school because overtime, recreational coach, after program, because overtime pays too much. And this is where we love our people. So Sir Senior, welcome. Let's see who else do we have that added on here. Oh, great. So African Millennial is dropping links for everybody. Please make sure that she has your link. Because once she drops them, I'll highlight them. So that's how we're working, y'all. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. Yes, teamwork makes the dream work. Drop in the link. If you drop the link, she'll post them. And then,
I have a question for you. Or actually, I have a question for
Fresky Dean, you like Dar Man premieres too, as well. Yeah, me and my daughter Dar. Okay.
Okay, I have a question. Because, like, some people will say that they're working, right? So they can't start a business.
I can't hear you, Millennial.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we say start a business, we don't necessarily mean that you have to quit your job. It's just, I feel like it's easier for some people to do that, but you don't have to actually quit your job to start a business. Like you
No,
can
you
do a
don't.
side thing.
No,
Yeah, you can do a side thing and also have a full-time
no, you
job. So
don't. You know, I said for me, yeah. For me, I had to because let me tell you something about me, and I'm gonna be very real and transparent. I
Okay.
like to sleep. I sleep though. I do. Do that. If I ever work a job, I'm an all or nothing type of girl, me personally. And I'm only going to give one thing about a good 8, 9 hours of my day. And I have 2 children. So, I say I like my sleep. And so I've known people that do work 9 to 5 and then they sleep, they work during the night. They work when they should be sleeping. And
Mhm.
I've seen them do this, and I know it can be done, but I'm gonna be honest about Courtney Omega. I'm not interested in that. I said if I'm gonna give something 9, 10 hours, I gotta do a diet. I gotta do a diet. It's gotta be for me and my babies,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna get my rest in. So that's just me, but you're
Mhm.
absolutely right. But everybody else, what is your response to that? Using, but like I said, that's why I said if I do have to take a 9 to 5, I put a time limit on it, like Keisha says, and I say this is a project. Tell them at the
Hello?
top
Mhm.
what you want me to do a month. That's probably all I got for you.
Help.
They think I'm asking them that because they think I'm looking for, excelling in management in 6 months. But
Mhm.
I'm asking them because I want to give them all they need from me because I'm going looking elsewhere. So
Mhm.
I say, what do you expect? What type of level of skill set execution, solution execution do you expect in 6 months? And they be excited to hear that. Oh, well, we want to have this accomplished. Okay, so I make that my first project. I make that a priority. Let
Mhm.
me help them get that accomplished because that's probably all Courtney gonna be able to do for you. So that's just me though. But how does everybody else feel about that? And Passionate Bliss again. Welcome. Oh, she's out again. Lord, when you come back in, Passionate Bliss, we want to get that update. Passionate Bliss is an essential worker
Okay.
in North Carolina. So every time that song "Good Job" comes on by Alicia Keys, I send it up. I send that up to my to Miss Passionate Bliss. She is an
Okay.
essential worker and a very hardworking mom, beautiful woman, and we appreciate every time that she is able to these panels and these discussions. She is working with very limited free time. So, but
Mhm.
Keisha, what do you think about that? Working a couple of, figuring it out, working your job, but not treating your dream or your business as a side hustle. That I'm gonna put that up in the chat. That's where the conflict is. I just don't
No,
think you should
you
ever
don't. You don't treat your
as
business like a side
it's
hustle, but you dedicate that time to it. Because what I used to do when I work nights, so I would work my business from 9 to 1, and I would work at night, and I would have enough time to get some sleep, do some school work and things like that. And as soon as my check, after I paid all my bills in the house and bought food, whatever I had left over, I would put it into the business fund. Even if it was something as simple as $1 per week of 50 cents per day, whatever little change I bought from coffee, I'm gonna put that in there. I'm just keep letting it add up. Don't touch it. I ain't gonna look at it. I don't know what's there. Just keep putting in. And I would even go to the banks because I had such a good relationship with the bank. I would say, can y'all put a restriction on this account? I want money to go in, but I don't want nothing to come out for a year. And they'll do it. And I tell them what it's for. Okay, I want you to take X amount of dollars out my check every week or every 2 weeks and stuff like that. So when it was time for me to leave, but I still did things that I could afford to do, like sit down with SCORE, get a business plan together, things I could afford to do. If I had to do something every check, like if I wanted to pay for Facebook ads or something, I'll pay for Facebook ads, every check I would do something because those little things will add up and they'll accumulate.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when I was trying to come in before, I know Courtney, I mean, can y'all hear me? Hi everybody.
Yeah. How you doing? Okay.
Hello Flowers. But I
All
was just,
right, all right.
I was just saying, that, because like I said, like I've mentioned in the past, I've been a registered nurse for 22 years. And so
Okay.
when I was a floor nurse in the
Hey, Miss
hospital,
Hurricane.
yeah, it was unreasonable expectations on us. I felt like as nurses, when you're responsible for someone's health and someone's life, we had too much of a heavy caseload. So I said, okay, well, let's go into a management. Okay, so then I became the the unit manager, and I said, you know what,
Okay.
it's still too much. Let me become the assistant director. So then I became the assistant director. And I said, it's still so much foolishness. And then I said, okay, I need to go up higher in the food chain. So I became the director of nursing. Then I said, it's still BS coming from the top. And then I finally said, you know what? The only way I'm not going to have to deal with BS is to start my own business and be my own boss and be all the way at the top of the food chain. And so that's one of the biggest things that I promote and recommend for entrepreneurship and being your own boss is that there's no foolishness. The buck stops with you. The foolishness starts and ends with you. And so nobody gets to tell you your break was too long, your lunch was too long, and you were late responding to excess patients. When our normal workload was supposed to be 7 patients in a shift, I got 15 when I came in. That was crazy, especially when lives are at risk. And so that's why I became disillusioned with nursing after 22 years. And so that's why I try to encourage entrepreneurship, because you're the boss. The buck stops with you, and you decide what's enough, what's not enough, and how far you're going to go and how far you're not going to go. And so, I did, after 22 years, open my own, my online clothing store, my Passionate Bliss, my Shopify.com, and I start my little t-shirt line here just going on, behind me and everything. And so, it's up to me to decide how hard I want to work. It's up to me to decide how far I want to go. It's up to me to decide how much I want to do. So as far as partnership goes, if you want that level of satisfaction, that level of being your best and what you want to be, and your vision being the thing definitely entrepreneurship is what I recommend. But and I will say I was so interested in tonight's panel because where I struggle because I still work full-time as a nurse, but I do it at home now, not at the bedside. And so where I struggle as a new business is learning how to promote my business, how to get my store out there, how to because I've done some ads on Facebook. But the thing is that certain companies like
what
Facebook,
type of store do you have? Is it e-commerce or drop shipping?
My Shopify.com. It's a boutique.
Oh, you need drop shipping
I have
ads.
everything in it.
Okay, drop shipping ads is what you need.
Clothing, jewelry, shoes. But mostly the only reason I created it was to promote my t-shirt line. And so that's the only reason. That's the only thing I actually care about in that store is my t-shirt line. And so anything else that happens is fine. And I've had sales from other things, And so, but my thing is that even though I was heavily promoting, because this is the thing. When you're a creative person and you created something like this, like these designs, I created these. These were my daughter, design artist. She created these based off the images that I sent her, and he DM'd her, and and my thing is that that's the only thing I really care about is that anything else in the store I can care less if you buy it. But I've sold other stuff out of the store. But my thing is that when you're creative, if you post a commercial or an ad on Facebook or Instagram, they have the right, with or without your permission, to duplicate it and sell it. So I've never placed an ad showing the design on there because I know that about those businesses. YouTube is not the same. That's the only reason I show my designs on YouTube. And so that's the part where I'm really struggling at is being found, how to get people to find me. And so that's why I was really intrigued about, this particular panel on this particular topic tonight. So I was really interested in hearing what you guys had to say. But I definitely want to recommend entrepreneurship. My son has his online store. My daughter has her online store already. And, and they sell things they're interested in. Like my son's interested in technology. And that's what his online store is about. My daughter, she, sells little other odds and ends. And that's what her online store is. And so entrepreneurship I encourage. But the difficult part of it is picking up the speed and the advertising and getting yourself out there. So that's what I was really interested in. I came in kind of late. So I probably missed that part. But I was hoping to get some insight on that from you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would add that in the street, we are. I know we're kind of like oversimplifying things. It definitely is not
And
easy to.
Passionate Bliss has such a shirt.
Oh, go ahead.
I love that concept. And actually, when we first communicating a year ago, that's what drew me to her. It was the conversation.
I can't believe
But that's all I wanted to say. Yes. And thank you so much again. African Millennial is dropping links. If you all see from up and down the stream,
I'll
she is
redrop
dropping links. So
mine.
make sure you all, when we wrap, perfect. When we wrap, what I do is I say, even though we're no longer on the panel per se, the stream is still open because I always hate when I'm on certain channels and once it's ended, like it's gone, and you can't get that stream back for like a couple of hours before the whole playback post. And there might have been people I was trying to connect with and build with. And I just want to say also, y'all, I love this network. I really do. You glowers and you lighters, you got the way we engage with one another. That's very important to me because I go on other channels and I see how people in the room are kind of talking to one another, and then I see how when somebody else comes into the room, it's like it's a nasty energy, and I just never want that here. But I want to again, yeah, I want to again just say thank you all for just keeping the conversations elevated, keeping on code and on topic. We're talking about Black businesses, some of the complications while doing business while Black, as well as some of the advantages while doing business, being in business for yourself and doing melanated business. So, okay, Snuggle 668 back. Is anyone on the panel, when you're not talking, please mute your mic so that we can't hear the background. Okay, so Miss Russo Online says, okay, the jellies. Jamaicans say this water gets to our heart. Obviously, they mean good for the blood. Okay, so is that someone that makes jelly waters? I make a pineapple lemonade. All that video is posted tonight. I'm doing that because actually Snuggles challenged me today, y'all. Snuggle said he's not gonna believe that I be doing all this cooking because I never post cooking videos. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and let me show y'all what Courtney be cooking. Okay, so we had a great day at the market today. So I always say I never want to give someone else or someone else my best. I like to give my best to me and my family. So I said, I'm celebrating my family tonight. We had a great day at the market. So tonight I'm making a very market worthy meal. Instead of restaurant worthy, I say market worthy because these are actually good meals that I sell other people. And so I wouldn't serve somebody else something and eat myself and aren't family favorites also. So tonight we are having signature buffalo blue chicken. We're having my signature kale salad. The kids make their own green salad. My daughter made strawberry roses with Nutella for dessert. And I do frozen grapes because that's my favorite. And of course, we got that Grove Aid. Grove Aid lemonade, dessert in a jar. Dessert you can drink. Okay. Yes. Okay, Passionate Bliss. So you're going to be in the chat. Absolutely. You're welcome. You have the link. If there's anything else that you wanted to contribute, please don't hesitate. My next question is, let's talk about the real. Okay, and this is a real complicated question, you all, but what let's talk about the reality of people not doing business with you or because you are black. Let's talk about the realness of that, the reality of that. At the market today, I met a phenomenal. I was hoping she was going to be able to be in the room tonight, so I'm going to check to see if she's still going to be able to come on board. But she makes handbags and she makes earrings, and so she has beautiful material, beautiful gear. And she was telling me that she's moving to Miami, and I told her people in Miami, they want brand names. They don't do a lot of supporting. You would think not, but a lot of the areas are very materialistic. They do a lot of brand name supporting. And so if you are not a brand namer, if you're not on Love and Hip Hop Miami, okay, if someone of another caliber has not mentioned your product, it's hard to get it sold. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit tonight and talk about the reality of that, which is are our people, melanated people, people of the diaspora, are we too consumed with brand names sometimes to support our own individual businesses? I'm going to let Brother William, I want to let you have this first.
Okay. Yeah. I can be brief on this. We are not actually. I can't praise us for patronizing enough because we're not really on that. But it is a revolution in and of itself if we could just turn to our businesses, our black businesses, and support one another. So I think we should make it into a campaign, something that on this type of panel we talk about. Let's support one another. Let's support one another, and then start actually doing it, meeting up and supporting in some way. If you got a restaurant or you got something, I'm gonna support your book. I'm gonna buy it. So start a attitude, a campaign, kind of like support one another. So that's where I think it should start. But at this point, I'm not satisfied without patriotism towards our own businesses. So that's the reality. We're not overall on a big scale support one another, but they can start right here on this panel. That's how I feel. I rest my mic. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we heard you.
Oh, uh, I
Yes,
said I
we
rest.
hear you. African
Uh,
millennials, jump on in. What do you have to say in regards to that? Are we because and actually you can speak on this on a bit of an international level. Because I've always found that has been very interesting to me too. That when I see African people of the African diaspora just so excited about brand names from the US, that blows my mind because I'm just like, nah, y'all are motherland. Like y'all need to just be excited about what y'all are doing. I always am very kind of floored with that when they have on brand name gear because I don't even have. I'm telling you, like honestly, there's nothing in my closet that just has like Armani exchange or anything like that. Like I don't have brand name gear. So I know you can speak on this maybe from an international level. Did you feel like are we too consumed with brand names to really appreciate and understand the significance and the importance of products that we are making ourselves?
Absolutely. So I can see this from both sides. And unfortunately, on both sides, whether you talk about the continent or even in the West, we don't support each other, not enough. And it's very frustrating because even with the company that I and my friend we started, at first we had a symbol that was a little more like pro black. Like we had a symbol that had a fist, that fist, that black fist. And we had to change our logo because we had not only black people but also non-black people say, okay, well, do you guys only serve to black people or do you guys serve to everybody? And we were like, we serve to everybody, but we're black owned. And it seemed that a lot of people tried to do a lot of background work to see who owned the company. And when they figured out that we were black owned and that we were really supporting black people, like a lot of our team were just black people, they did not want to support us. And then since we knew, okay, the others are not really going to support us, we were kind of looking on towards our own people to support us, but our own people didn't support us either. So it was really discouraging because we were here like, okay, this is by Black people for everybody, but mostly for Black people. And we didn't get that support at all. Like, we knew other races wouldn't support us, but to have our own not support us, we were really, really, really shocked about that. I'm not even going to lie to you. In fact, the first year, we were barely breaking even. Uh, Business was really, really bad. It didn't start taking off until COVID, to be quite honest. But bring it back to the continent, yeah, this is an international thing. Even with Africa, for instance, right now, they grow organic tomatoes. But when they see tomatoes from Italy, it's like the whole Versace Dior thing. It's like, oh, okay, this is from Italy, so this is proper. This is what the other races eat. So this is better than what we have in our own house. Meanwhile, it's not. So this whole idea of Black people not really supporting Black, liking things that are made by someone else, and things that we see being in the media as advertised as better than our own things, yeah, that's definitely an international thing. I'll end that for here.
I would agree. Is my mic on? Hey, fam.
Absolutely. Welcome to the panel, Brother Donnie. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and definitely weigh in on the topic.
Hi, my name is Donnie. My
Absolutely.
YouTube channel is Donnie Goes In. I'm just dropping in to say hey to everyone. And I agree. I owned a barbershop for 20 plus years. I started business. I guess I got to say how I got started business the hard way. Um, in the barber business that way. I was young, probably 18, and the barbershop that I worked in, the owner was on drugs and went to rehab and said, "Here you go." So I had to learn how to manage a business the hard way, just thrown in it in a place full of grown adults. So I learned how to navigate and negotiate, paying bills and keeping it going. And he did, and he still has his barbershop today, even after I left and moved on. I'm also worked as a fireman. In the same way, I got this business experience the same way. I ended up being, I think I got hurt one time and ended up being on light duty and ended up working for the number 2 guy in the fire department, and he saw my value, and I ended up becoming the quartermaster for the department, handling the budget of a few $100,000, managing equipment. I put a lot of stuff in place as far as systems, how they manage and track their inventory, their firefight equipment, and purchasing that they still use today. I think I'm actually probably the last quartermaster that they had in the fire department in the last few years. So what I guess I could say about managing a business and us supporting one another, and it's a problem, it's an issue, even in that sector where we find that that Black people, everybody gets their hair cut. It's still an issue with support in our community that I don't understand. So I think it is a name thing. I think it's sometimes we find when they come to us, they always want a discount, want to lowball you. I can't tell you many times as I even had police officers get over on me, coming in, get a haircut, and say I would be back. They got a call and never showed back to pay me my money. I don't know. It's an issue we need to work on. And I don't want to say it's everyone, but it's definitely a mentality that when they come to support Black businesses, they don't understand that we got to pay the bills too, and we don't have the support, and we don't have the financial backing like some of these other groups who open business where they can go get loans. So we out here on our own. when it comes to doing business. So I have seen that, and I've also tried to help people in business along the way. And you try to help people, and it's been an issue sometimes. Some of them got it, but a lot of them didn't get it. But I never lost hope in those that didn't know in helping my community. So that's my 2 cents. You froze? You want me to keep talking? You there?
Can you hear, Courtney? I heard you, my brother.
Oh, okay.
That was well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Can everybody else hear?
I don't want to keep going on. I can keep talking about
the
it.
Silent treatment.
Yeah, I'm here.
We got the silent treatment.
Yeah, I can hear you. People. Well, we always like to hear you because Donnie does glow in. I said you got to change that from goes in to glows in. But I did drop the link. There's some people that were asking about the link. So Snuggles had a question. Snuggles says, "Are Black men now haircut by men of other races?" I will say the community, as the African man, the link is dropped. I just dropped it. If you, in case you still wanted to come on, I saw that you said you are. Hey, Boris, thank you so much again for dropping in. I know you said you're from Coconut Grove, so I said I want to talk to you. Hey, you know that's where I was the counsel at. I didn't know if you were still residing in Coconut Grove, but definitely would love to connect. Now. Oh, okay. I don't know if you all see the link, but I dropped it, but I'm going to drop it again just in case. Because John, I'm still having the problem with your email. So I think that you might just want to create another one because I did actually I sent the link to everyone email wise, everyone that was involved in the stream yesterday. So, okay. So we do have someone that did click on the link. Let me go ahead and add you all in. Thank you, Donnie, for that option. Let me add on. We have a couple more people. I'm about to come out of the stream. We have enough room up here, but it's fine. I'm going to just remove myself so I can add a couple more people onto the panel. And I'm going to jump down in the chat. Y'all know I like being down in the chat anyway. Yeah, I like those spectator seats sometimes. I don't mind them. Hello, welcome to the chat, Tanjon. Hello, Tanjon. Can you hear me?
Did it freeze?
I can hear you. I hear everybody, except for her.
We're about to take over her show now.
Oh man.
Yeah, I see that's my cousin right there on this this link right there. We also affiliated. I know he is deeply. I'm getting ready to join the UNIC Baltimore chapter. Just opened the chapter. They had a meeting today, and I didn't get a chance to write the brother's information down, but he actually has an investment group for melanated people where they all pooling money together in a company, and they're buying businesses, and as they buy businesses, you can get shares in it, and just us pooling our money together to try to get around, some of the stuff we're going in. But once I find the information about it, or maybe he can, if he has it, James, you got it, if you can put it in the link about it. But it's really good. So if anyone's interested.
So,
bro.
Yeah, who's the moderator?
Hey.
Donnie, you gonna ask me some questions, Donnie?
Hey, I guess we have. What was the question we were talking about?
Oh, why do our people not support? Why do our people not support our businesses? Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. This is S-Man, the African. Good evening. Good evening. I'm happy to be on the panel. Yeah, it's a really big question, but I think it depends on where you're talking about. I mean, I know that there's a stereotype that African Americans don't support Black-owned businesses. You know, some of that might be true. And it's probably like a lot of history involved in that too. You know, through slavery, we got to look way back to see, you know, why that is the case. But I think some of us do support our brothers and sisters, and we are starting to wake up that the only way to economic success is by supporting Black-owned businesses and trying to spend our money. And I mean, my own self, like I really hate big box stores. I hate the fact that they basically put a lot of people out of business, small businesses in general. And on top of that, you know, Black-owned businesses more so. So I think, you know, whenever possible, we need to spend our money with you know, Black and minority owned businesses to help support, because I just don't like box stores. Like I don't like Walmart. You know, I'll shop at Target, but I'd prefer to spend my money at a mom and pop store, Black owned. You know, a little bit about my channel. So you can go to S-Man the African. I'm, you know, half African American, half Kenyan. My father was Kenyan, so I spent a lot of time in Kenya and Africa, and I love you know, shopping at the local stores in Kenya. It's a really great experience when you can have that intimate interaction with the store owner who knows everything about their wares or their merchandise that they're selling, you know, compared to if you're going to a box store and you're dealing with an associate who don't know nothing about what they're trying to sell you. So I really believe and feel like that intimate interaction is something which is really great. So we should be supporting each other with our African American businesses and not haggling. You know, like I just got back. I should have took some video or pictures, but I just got back from my friend's store. He has an African store, and I saw a dashiki that I wanted. So I told him. I mean, I just wanted it, but he gave me a discount, and I'm like, "You sure?" I'm like, don't give me a discount, you know, just because I'm your friend. But he gave me a discount. I didn't ask for it, but you know, I was willing to pay the full price. So we need to, you know, support each other and help each other grow. And just while we're on the topic, like I have my own little side business too. I bake cakes and stuff like that. So you know, I know the hustle of trying to stand up a little side business. It's good. It's rewarding. Being your own boss, and I'd like to grow it one day so that I can you know, stop the 9 to 5, because I made a comment like dealing with the personalities, and you know, you come into work and just people have attitudes for no reason, and you know, they have unrealistic deadlines, and it just adds like a certain level of stress on you that I just don't like to deal with. Like I'm old enough now, I don't want to deal with that. You know, I'm going into the second part of my life, second half of my life. I want to have my own thing, you know. That's my future goal, being my own boss. But I think one of the biggest hurdles we face as Black people is lack of resources and like capital. You know, we don't have that capital because of the slavery, the impact of slavery that had on us. Like we didn't build that generational wealth as the Caucasians did. You know, they passed down money from generation to generation. So we already started at a disadvantage. So what we need to do is, to the extent possible, we need to be able to partner with each other and be willing to sacrifice up front. You know, not always looking for short-term gains. We need to think on the long run and really partner. And I think like a lot of there's a lot of other Black people around the world who do that. Like Somalis are great with partnering and working with each other to build each other up. Like they come and they form these we call them shiriko in Swahili, but it's like a cooperative. Like everybody put in money and then everybody get a stake. If they buy a big building, if they have businesses, like they'll buy up the whole shopping mall and everybody have a little shop in the shopping mall. They put their money together and like they build and grow within themselves. So we need to like look at best practices like that and adopt. Nigerians do it well as well. And I'm sure some other Black people around the world do it. And you can probably find some good examples of that in the United States, but we need to do more of that. Not thinking about the short term, not thinking about Friday, you know, getting paid. we need to think, let's work together, let's invest. We're going to take some losses up front while we build momentum. But eventually in 1 year, 5 years, we're going to have command of the market. Like, I've been in this city where I'm living at in Virginia for the past 8 years, and I love fish. And I noticed like there's no good fish market here. And I was always thinking about it. And I do a lot of that thinking, but not action sometimes, unfortunately. And a lot of us have that mistake. But there's a new grocery store that opened up with an excellent, huge fish section. The Asians opened it up. But I guess they worked together. They put their money together, and they took over like a food line that wasn't doing so well. They took over the food line, and they turned that whole food line into an ethnic market, an ethnic grocery store. And they got a huge produce section and a huge fish and seafood section with all types of fish and seafood. So I'm just saying, like, we need to put our money together and do something big like that.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking like individuals sometimes. So I know I've been talking a lot. I'll go ahead and be quiet and, let what you think.
I like to say, well said, my brother. Could y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get you.
Well said, my brother, and I'm on the same page as you are. I just one thing that I try to approach to a problem is to analyze it and ask ourselves, so what is the problem? So, and then when you keep asking yourself and figuring it out, you'll wind up understanding the solutions. And I think the one of our problems I'd like to share in my understanding, in my study, is that we don't put relationship. We don't involve relationship. We need to really get to know one another again. And that in relationship, then come partnership and business as well. Everything else comes behind it. So when I say relationship, that means we need to do something to help us learn to trust one another again. Help us learn to who we are in communication and dialogue. So the only thing is, one example is in my little program, the Black Youth Congress, is that there's an element that will allow us to be able to learn to trust one another, learn who we are, develop the faith in one another. And that element is start a penny investment club. And the reason why we chose that is because as we save money, we put emphasis not on the money, but on the knowledge of business, the knowledge of cooperative, the knowledge of how to secure your funds and so on and so forth. So in that, it's an opportunity for us to develop relationship. And in relationship, after 1 year or so, I know John Doe and Jane Doe and everybody else in the circle. And then I'll get more comfortable. And then bigger dollars instead of pennies, you can turn into dollars. So that's the whole goal. Start a penny club, so you won't have no excuse.
Start getting low.
Not having a penny, because if you got a penny, if you ain't got a penny, I'll do for you. So I think the solution is in relationship, and it has to start with me and you. Let's not be blinded by numbers. That's one of the things that we are blinded by. That means we're looking at, well, we need 10,000. No. The 5 of us on this panel can get something started. The only thing that I do want to address when it comes down to on a panel like this is that I believe in localizing. So I want to feel the solution. So if everybody in Atlanta get together and start an investment club, like I said, a penny investment club, then that would be a good start. And then whatever city you in, you get it started there. I believe in a local politics, so local forming, because I want to feel my solution. I don't want to be way in California talking about what we need to do and all that. So anyway, I just want to say that you're on the same page, and I think it starts with just me and you. It don't have to be numbers that we'll be blinded by. We can get this thing started. But yeah, so well said, my brother. Well said. I rest my mic.
I don't know if y'all discussed this already before I got on, but I think it's important for us to teach the kids basic business skills. My youngest son, actually, I got off today. My oldest son, his clothing line, they just had a premiere thing and had a whole thing on YouTube. So he got his own company. But my youngest son is 17. Him and his cousin also started a company. So what I did was, walk them through the whole process from getting the tax ID number, how to open a bank account, how to set up and manage the back office of your business, so they can be successful. How to set it up and be, professional, even look professional. Even though you might not have the financial capital, but we all know that first impressions are everything. So everything we do, we need to look like we got $1 million, so people will respect us. So I think that's a big thing we need to focus on, making sure that they prepared. And now I know my youngest son, this dude right here is gonna be a tycoon, because that's all he talk about is how to start a business and what he gonna do. So, we need to have him in that mindset of being entrepreneurs, because as long as we're not, and we constantly going in the workforce, then we always gonna be the employees and never the bosses.
Keisha, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, when you're a job creator versus a job seeker, now a job creator puts jobs in their own communities. Being a job seeker puts jobs in other communities. And that's something I never instilled in my kids, for them to ever be job seekers. I wanted them to be job creators, keeping the dollars in our communities. And that's a big thing. That generational wealth, multiple streams of income, having investments, investment properties. We want our children's to have money. The only thing is that foundation. Yes, we should be learning business. We should be learning economics. We should be learning financial planning, accounting, business legal matters, personal legal matters. Because I think if more people knew how to navigate around that system, we could avoid so many divorces that are cleaning people out, and we can avoid alimony and all that stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just want to address something in the comment section before Black Youth Congress or anyone else wants to jump in. Someone was saying that that we're being really hard on Black people because we haven't had the resources to do these type of things, and it's not about being hard. It's about we're living in the now, right? So everyone who's watching this stream, like, the responsibility of doing that has to be on you. You can't put that whole responsibility in your future generation, right? You can't say that, okay, well, my parents didn't do it, the foundation wasn't there, my ancestors didn't have the ability, so I'm not going to try. Like, the whole point is that you have to try if you have the opportunity. And some of us do have that opportunity. Some of us say that we've been awakened. So the whole point of that is putting that into practice, like putting that into mobilization. So I understand that there are barriers. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I think any person on this stream can attest to that there are barriers. But if you haven't tried, then I really don't feel comfortable with you talking about how, your ancestors couldn't do it. Like, that, they had legit excuses. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit easier for us. I know it's still hard, but we have it way better than our ancestors did. So we should try.
I like to say, well said, sister, well said. I like is it my turn?
Your mic is low.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like to say, well said, sister. Can you hear me?
Still low. Mm-hmm.
Is that better?
A little bit.
Okay, a little better?
A little.
Yes.
A little bit better. Wow. What about now?
The same.
Same old same.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a phone. God with me. Can you hear me now? I'm trying to fix it because it's got the thing is messed up. Tell me when you can hear me, okay? Checking. 1, 2,
We can
3.
hear you.
Checking. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? You hear me now?
We can hear you. It's still a little low, but we can hear you.
It's a little now. What about now? Is that better? Wow, how does I can hear you? You can't hear. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Still low. All right, what about now? Still low. All right, is I'm loud enough to be heard though?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get you.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go with. I like to say well said to the sister. I didn't get a name, but well said, well said, well said, well said. My take is very strong. I believe all solutions gonna come, of course, by us. We gotta create it, and it's gotta be in program form. In program form, we gotta create programs. We gotta institute things. You know, so whatever ideas we may have, say, well, we don't do this enough. Well, we don't come together. Okay, let's start a program where coming together is part of the program. So, and I said earlier that we need an element of some sort that can give an opportunity for us to exercise trust and relationship, and it's got to be something that we have to do together that would help build these things. And that was just one idea that we have that we're doing. That's to start an investment penny club. So again, it's a penny club for a reason, because if you don't have a penny to join, there ain't no excuse. I got one for you. So we emphasize the ability to communicate as a group, and then eventually, ultimately, forming an alliance, or like you said, cooperative. But that would be ultimate. But I emphasize relationship first. And when I say that, I'm talking about knowing how to have a conversation as a group. And, you know, they have different formats, like Robert Rules of Order, parliamentary procedure. They have formats that we can model after. But meanwhile, we have to be able to learn how to, if it's 10 of us, 20 of us, or more, learn how to politic, you know, and panelize. We have to learn that and make that, make that a part of the program. So if once we learn how to panelize, we take an idea, right? And we can bring it to a table, say, the idea on the table, okay? So we start this penny club. So what caused you not to join? What makes you hesitate? So we go in a circle, we get in everybody's mind and say, okay, there's 4 of us who want to get this thing started, and we ain't gonna let the rest of you gonna stop us. So I just want to say that we have to take initiative. We have to start forming programs that's economic based, you know, and it's going to help us help ourselves. I'm completely independent in my thinking and in my actions when it comes down to my people and any other source. That's all I got. Thank you I hope you heard me. I talked to the wall. I rest my mic.
Yeah, we heard you.
Oh, good.
Hey, can we did y'all talk already about this cover customer service? I don't want to keep talking about the same thing.
No, we're going to talk about customer service. But I'm already laughing.
What is the question?
It's the stereotypes of customer service in this comment right here, and I kind of wanted to. It's an issue in our community. Some of these places with customer service. It's not everybody, but I noticed a lot of poor customer service. I'm in the DMV, DC, Maryland area, Virginia area, and I've noticed a lot of poor customer service in our businesses. It's not everybody. I don't want to say it's everybody, but it's enough to make it bad. And I think that's the reason that turns some of us away is the customer service. I tried to have, as best as I could, customer service in my business, but going elsewhere, it's a problem that we got to correct.
Donnie, I think it has something to do with us having a lack of self-esteem, or we don't value ourselves, and it comes across through the interactions we have with others. Because I've encountered some of us who act real nasty or real flip, or just smart replies or comments when you trying to ask a question, and you wonder, like, where is it coming from, or they just mad, So, I mean, like you said, it's not everyone, but I've certainly encountered that in some of our businesses. And that's not to say going into other businesses, you don't have other interactions, because you do, you get followed around in their store. So, I mean, it's bad on both sides, but I have experienced very bad customer service in Africa too, in African businesses, and I don't know why they treat the Wazungus like God, but then when you go in their store, they treat you funny. They take time to give you service. They take incorrect information. And it's not everybody, but I've definitely experienced that. So I think it gets back to self-esteem, or like we don't value ourselves, or we look down upon ourselves. So I think we need to kind of make our social capital more expensive and treat each other with dignity and respect, and value ourselves first, and then we'll be able to treat each other with dignity and respect.
Absolutely. Black people, we have to stop doing the whole family discount thing sometimes because then all of us are family, right? So then it's like, when does it stop? So yeah, Black people, yeah, as Men said, we do have to value ourselves. Like if the price is $5.99, it's $5.99. Okay, unless maybe once in a while, for whatever reason, maybe we go way back and like you're my real dog, and I'll give it to you for $3.99. But please don't ask me for a discount just because you're Black. We gotta stop doing that.
I agree.
You know,
I'm sorry.
and this is the thing, and the poor customer service is it's an earned reputation. We have earned it to some extent, because once you feel like you're the boss, you feel like everything goes. But my thing is this: you have to have a standard, and we do have to encourage that we have a standard. If you say your hours are 9 to 5, I shouldn't show up at 10:30 and your store's not open. Okay, if you say you're going from lunch to 1 to 2, I shouldn't show up at your store at 3:30. The still at lunch sign is up. So we can't pretend like it's not real, and we can't own the fact that we have not earned these bad reputations for poor customer service, because we have. And the thing too, as entrepreneurs, you want to remember, and don't forget, and you can't be nasty, because as Black people, we have always been on the lower end of the economic scale. We have learned how to make $1 out of 15 cents. So when we come in there and trying to get a bargain for $3.99 or whatever, and it costs $10, you cannot fault us for that, because we have survived off of making $1 out of 15 cents. So you want to acknowledge that, and and set up something for that. Because like even restaurants like McDonald's said, okay, if you come here 4 days out the week and buy coffee, you get the 5th coffee free. Tell them that's your program, that's your discount. Have something in place for us, because that is a reality of our existence, as Black people. And you have to acknowledge that and be ready to address that as an entrepreneur. And as a store owner, don't set standards that you are not prepared to keep. If you know you're not getting up 9 to 5 to be in that store, don't put your store hours as 9 to 5. Don't put no store hours. or put your hours 11 to 3. If that's what you're gonna work, then put that up there. So some of these we have earned these reputations, so we can't pretend like we haven't, because we have. And we can't be resentful as entrepreneurs that they're trying to make $1.15. That's how we have survived. So we want to acknowledge that, and kind of make an allowance for that. Say not this time, next time when you come, or and I have done that before, even at non-African business when I went there. And I said, what? That's what you're charging me? I was like, I come here all the time. And he's like, yes, you do. And he took $20 off the price of whatever I was trying to buy. And he was like, and the other guy was there, was like, what? And he was like, no, she come here all the time. And so he gave it to me. But the thing is that, when you have a repeat customer, yeah, let them get a little discount, but if and if they're not a repeat customer, then you encourage them to be a repeat customer by offering them something. As far as, a sense of loyalty, we do want to try to have a sense of loyalty to Black businesses. We kind of tend to be lazy on that. I can't say that I'm not. I have, because there's a Black-owned coffee company and I drink coffee every day. So I have drinking coffee all day, on some of my jobs. And so, but there's a Black-owned coffee company, and I have not patronized them. So I'm going to correct that today, because of this panel and my illustrious panel members. And so I will correct that. I'm going to make the effort. It does take an effort to patronize each other. And so I'm willing to do that. But also, you know, we do have Black Chamber of Commerces in every city, as far as I know. We do have flea markets. You can go in there and you can panel your stuff and you can see what the Black people are liking and you can tell, you know, and you can make bargains with them. And we have to know how to buy in bulk, you know, overseas where it's cheaper. That's why I want Trump to leave China alone. And then, you know, in my city, we have the Gullah Festival. You know, that's all about the Gullah culture. You know, and every year we just want to be there and show ourselves and, you know, and be prepared in your pricing to haggle with people. You may have to up price it so that you can haggle with them like, all right, go ahead, you know, at the end of the day or something like that. And so, you know, I don't feel like we should resent each other for trying to get a bargain or trying to make, because we've been surviving off making $1 out of 15 cents for centuries. So I feel like we do need to acknowledge that and we need to prepare for that, even if we have to up price a little bit, or get some kind of gimmick like you come in 4 times, you get 4 t-shirts, I'm gonna give you 1 free, you know, or whatever, you know, something like that. So that's just, you know, pretty much what I wanted to say, just based on, you know, what I have been hearing on the panel, and just in general, you know, the thing is that 80% of success is showing up. And so even as Black entrepreneurs, if we don't get the loans, if we don't get the grants, if we don't have the, just show up and start doing something. And if you go to places like, you know, your Black Chamber of Commerce, you know, the local Black Business Bazaar, or I know on Instagram they have a local Black Business Directory. Now they did want to charge me to be in it, but I'm okay with that actually, because you can see other businesses in there and you can network with them. And so, you know, that's pretty much mainly what I wanted to say, just from, you know, just listening on you guys. And if I missed something, you know, y'all let me know, because I'm here writing down in my little notebook too. I'm picking up stuff too. So okay, so it's nice to see the panel members. But yeah, I don't want to bash us because, you know, we've struggled economically, and don't be so mad when she asked, I can't get this free. Look at this hole in the package. You know, be prepared to, you have to upgrade the price a little bit to just give them a little discount so that you make a satisfied customer and they come back. Okay, so that's all I just wanted to share with you guys. It's nice seeing y'all. Okay.
I agree.
Hi, I'm Jan John. I love what everyone is talking about. I got a solution for a couple of things, but I do have a question and I do need some input. I do need an input on some things. Well, you guys may know something I don't know, and I know I don't know everything. But back in the days, when we were being gentrified, and I didn't know what gentrified was, our relatives had their own business, living in a complex apartment in San Francisco, California. That was in Thomas Paine Square. And you had the icy house, you had the nacho house, you had the fish dinner, the chicken dinner, the steak dinner, and they did their business out of their own home. And they did well until people started telling them messing things up, and IRS started coming after them. But I'm thinking we can start back doing that again. You know, I think the worst thing that we can, you know, I hear what you're saying, the sister, about, you know, people opening up a shop and they say they're going to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning, but you're showing up at 10 p.m. or showing up at 10 a.m. instead of 8 in the morning, like you say. And that's understandable. I've seen it a lot where a lot of businesses that we're trying to support. I've tried to support one business called the what is it called? It's called Herb and Life. It's HERB and an N and then Life. He has the best angel butter lotion that lasts you for a year. This lotion costs about $11, and it's worth $11, and it will last you for a year. It will last all down your hands. You can wash your hands, and you still have that wonderful herbal smell on your body. And it keeps your hands and your face looking young. Anyway, she had products, and I want to order her products. And she just, for some reason, it's the first time I thought maybe Rainbow's grocery store in San Francisco, which is an herbal store, so it's a health store, they discontinued her. I figured, they just hating on her. She got too much going on. People want her stuff. But it turns out it's just one little old me. This is a pandemic. And for the past, she held my money for 5 months. until I decided I was going to go ahead and threaten to get my money back. Then she finally sent my product, but it was the way she sent it was very raggedy. So that being said, when you talk about poor customer service, she was a poor customer service. And part of that is because some of us don't want to pay extra workers to do the work.
You
And
see me up
what
here?
we need to realize is
I'm gonna
it's
see you.
not a loss if you hire more than the amount of people to work for you to get your products going. Because if you have a lot of products that you're selling that's going through the roof, why are you doing this by yourself or with one other person because you're trying to hold on to whatever money you get? Instead, you need to hire 3 or 4 people. Yes, pay some taxes on it, but you know what? It's well worth it. You're going to get way more with the workers you're paying than you are trying to be cheap and not paying workers. And then you lose a lot of business and you lose a lot of customers and people are complaining. So that's one issue we have. We're afraid to hire more than one people to work for us. That you got that gift, you got that talent, you have the money, you have you have the product, you have that's going to work. You reach the demographics, but you're not delivering the way you're supposed to because you're too busy being cheap and afraid. You don't want to pay this money to this. If you got to pay $12,000 a year for your workers, it's $12,000 a month for your workers, and you're making 60,000. What's wrong with that? I just think there's nothing wrong with that. Just think you're going to make a big name for yourself pretty soon, and you will last longer if you start looking at it as though we have more. I have the help that I need. I could get more product. I could do new things. I could go on and train one person to run my business and go to the next business. And another thing I want to talk about is the fact that you can have an in-home business where, okay, running a store is really more running a store and having a business out in the open can be iffy because if you're not a morning person or if you're not an on-time person, then running a store out in your trying to run a store in your neighborhood or running a store period is not a good option for you if you're not good at being punctual and being on your own tail. You're not self-disciplined. So I always think it would be a good idea to have you and a couple other friends that sell your products from home, and you have orders. You have some teenage kids who could put your flyers out and have it on Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want to have it, and then let people order your product, and you just have your stuff made at home. You got you and your friends, y'all making a product at home, or you got the products already shipped in and you're packing it, you're making a package real nice and pretty, and you go ahead and have a driver. You hire you a driver, have someone to drop that stuff off and pay that person the way accordingly to your uniform time to paying the person, and I guarantee you'll do really well, especially with this pandemic going down. Running a store is not a good idea. Now you got all this stupidness that's happening. You don't want to jeopardize your business, and then you got to pay this high insurance to help cover the cost of your windows being broken in, your stuff being stolen, and it's a heartbreaking experience. So I think in-home business is a lot better right now with the with this pandemic going on. I just think we would go far if we
And
do. If I
online.
make products, selling things, make products, and I'm selling some things, and my product starts off good, I would love to hire someone to come work for me, 2 or 3 other people, somebody doing the shipping labels while the other one is helping me make the products until I get really well at it, until someone's getting good at what I like. Then I'll make her the manager of my business and I'll go do something else. The second thing the third thing I want to talk about was my son has a clothing line that I want to put out there now. And I want to do clothes for young male children because I'm basically tired of this thing where regular folks such as ourselves are supporting the rappers. We've been supporting these hip hop artists because, oh, you don't come up. But you got Jewish people running your life. You got Italian people running your life, telling you how to sound degrading of your people. And you take the money and you sell it yourself out, and then you sell out your own people, and then you end up wearing a dress. You end up doing all kind of things. You're a man, and you're anti-Black women. These are the things that that's starting to happen. Trying to turn our boys or men are being attacked as far as the clothing line is concerned. and the attitude behind it. So what I want to do, I want to bring back the beauty of a young male child wearing clothes, and to see a boy look like a boy. He has the right to be a boy. It's his right to be a young male child. It's not fair to try to change him and make him wear unisex clothes or clothes that look too feminine. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in unisex clothes. I just think whatever a girl can wear, it should be worn for just female children. But whatever boys can wear should be worn for just male children. And God told me I was going to have a son. And I knew this because this was difficult for me. And I was very upset I was going to have a little boy because nobody has they had no clothes for boys. These clothes was ugly. Who designed these things? My son would not be wearing this. This is for little Bobby and Jimmy. And then you got a lot of clothes that look like this is supposed to be for hip hop. This is supposed to represent hip hop, really, with holes in it and holes in the back of the pants. And that's some stuff we wore in the 80s and females wore that. That was the Sheila E. era. That was the Prince and Sheila E. era. Okay, we don't want to bring that back on our sons. So I had designs and ideas. I had my mission statement, and I want to have a corporate office where I can get some young brothers and a couple of mamas that says, I want my sons to look like intelligent young boys who's not afraid to get dirty. It's okay for him to be gross. He pick up bugs. Well, that clothes fit him. That fit him. He picked up a yellow snail. He got the outfit to fit. He let him be. Let him be a boy. Let him be rough.
You have the business already?
No, I got everything that I want. I'm having a hard time trying to get this is where I'm having a hard time with. I'm pursuing it now. I got my son's passport just in case I'm trying to get me a manufacturer in Africa, Burkina Faso, Ghana, or some parts of Jamaica, so I can work with them and they can start making my son some shoes. We got and jackets, shorts, tops for young boys. And my son's brand name, I've already gotten it. I got my fictitious business license. They told me that I gotta buy the business. It's like, what else I gotta pay for? Anyway, my son's name is based on his name, and the title of his clothing line is Yorula King, with the unk in between the R and a K. So if you rule, and it stands for you rule.
Especially on social media, they will steal. You have to get his trademark. You have to if he's created images, like these images, they have to be copyright protected, or they will steal it. Because I've had people steal slogans from me on Instagram when I only had 200 followers. They will steal.
Now, let me tell you about that. I'm the devil's worst nightmare when it comes to my son, because now you're stealing my son's name, and I don't appreciate it.
Trademark.
And I will F somebody up about my son. I don't know who it is. When it comes to the market, I will definitely find a way to work for business. Yes. So we don't definitely take care of that. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't have to assassinate nobody.
But I do want to get
you don't want to kill nobody. Just trademark it.
Black mother right
and see, this is I'm needing some intelligent families like yourself to guide me and direct me, because I want this to be wonderful, and I want you guys' name on it. I want it where my people was there for me. They supported me. The reason why a lot of youngsters and a lot of people like myself could not start a business the way we want to start a business is because our families were not supporting that. They don't see that as realistic. Seeing that breaks us. That doesn't tell us that we don't blame it on the elders. Yeah, blame it on them. Because if you say you want to become a doctor and a lawyer, they could have told you, oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, you got to do doctor things. Come on, this hold you to the fire. We don't push and support enough. I did that to my daughter. She got it. I did something to her that no one did to me, and I was lost on everything. I didn't understand how to get this and this and that. I wanted to do a clothing line for my daughter because it was so easy. I mean, I figured, and I found out a European men's clothing lines for girls were made by men. And I found that to be kind of weird and odd. Like, what happened to y'all doing stuff for guys? But that's okay. I got my family right here, and I need some feedback. I need someone to contact me. I would love to
be a part
get
of your promo.
Someone someone to give me a tutorial on what to do. And how should I do it? And what's the deadline? How much it's going to cost? I also was reaching out to Thought Crimes. I don't know if you know who Thought Crimes is, Prince Solo and Sincere Ignorance, but they are cracking me up. This is like a TV show on YouTube. You guys should watch in the mornings or something like that. Watch some of the stuff. It's so funny. But they have like one of the tightest animated clothing lines ever. And I'm going to be talking with Sincere Ignorance when she gets the chance to call me. I want my son's face. If you guys, I think I said Omega 40 a picture of my son. And he looked so serious, like he had this look like who you looking at. And it's like, I want these animated pictures of my son on some hoodies. And we want to sell these hoodies under his logo. And there was a brother who was on Brother Ben Nexus show. He makes shoes. He customizes black-owned. It's a black-owned shoe company. Customizes shoes and all that stuff. I'm having a hard time getting them because I said I want to make something for my son. And I heard people say, well, they don't have time to do stuff for the little kids. They don't have time to do stuff for little kids. They do stuff for adults. I said, well, that's why they messed up. Because these babies need clothes and they're growing. And why would you wait until they get old enough? That's how Cross Colors messed up. Cross Colors didn't even look at the babies. They looked at just the teenagers and the adults.
I want to know the name of that business when you get it up and going. And you definitely need trademark. You definitely need copyrights for any images, even your son's image and the logo. All that has to be trademarked and copyrighted. And when you have it done, do not present it online until you have it trademarked and copyrighted, because they will steal it as soon as they see it. Because I remember I met somebody online.
That's right.
And I was telling him about my business, and he said, "Oh, I already saw that." He said, "I already saw your business." I said, "Go check out my business." He said, "I already saw it," because he had his internet set up that when a new company opened up online, he would be notified. And when they see a new company come up and they're notified, they'll go look and see if you got it copyrighted. They'll go look and see if you have a trademark, and if you have it, they'll get it, and they'll make
know how to do all of that.
So, for sure,
I want to know how
when
to
you get that,
I want to know how to do
don't
all of
present
that.
any of it online until it's trademarked and copyrighted, and then let me know.
I haven't done it yet.
And I want to patronize you. I will patronize you and your son.
Yes.
Yay! I want to do all of that. That's why I didn't post nothing online yet. That's why I didn't do nothing yet, because I need someone to take my hand and show me the way. And on top of that, I want me some tough brothers who know how to help me design some stuff. Okay, I want to help us become something big. You know, and then I want to represent the fathers. I actually want to represent real fathers who be there for their sons and daughters. When it comes to clothing line, I got these photos that I want to do. The magazines, showing my son's clothing line, the father wearing the clothes, holding his son. I just think it's so beautiful. I want to see that. Society gonna be mad.
Gracious.
Kamala Harris really gonna be upset because she's trying to break up the black families with her Indian names. And I'll tell you something else. Y'all be careful. This is my thing.
And you know
when we try to get together, y'all don't go.
I'm sorry. I'm being a racist.
Don't go looking for politics to kind of help y'all out. Don't do that. I just think that's where we go wrong. We try to be a corporate. Let's be our own stuff, and we ain't gotta say nothing to nobody. We keep in contact with each other. Don't. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we gotta protect our black families, because that's the only ones that's gonna love us. Biden and Harris are not gonna love us. Harris is good for, and nobody. Let me tell you real quick. I know this may be a little bit off subject, but everybody, I'm very upset because the news and everyone else did not want to put the fact that there was thousands of black women that were upset Kamala Harris. Well, sorry, Kamala Gupta. I don't know if her last name is Harris. We're gonna call her Gupta. We didn't know that we knew her track record, and she was gonna go and try to be the vice president, but she waited for Joe Biden to croak out so she could be the president. And she's gonna really do a number on black women and men, because she didn't want to just lock up black men. She locked up black women too and separated the babies, put the young boys ages 5 and up is juvenile, and they put the little girls in foster care. She did that on purpose, and she thought it was a joke. And if a black person called her black, she said, "I'm Asian. I'm Asian," and she's white. She is Asian. But let a white person sit there and lie and say, "Well, first African American." First of all, she's not African American. She's not. She came to Oakland, California at the age of 8. She was a child, so she was an immigrant. And so when people and I got to know her in the Bay Area because I'm from the Bay, and she tried to take my daughter from me. My baby was just a premature, and they had this thing where they had to sign some forms where if I didn't have people coming to my house and monitor us because they heard some things about me, that they were going to take my daughter from me. And my daughter was 4 pounds 4 ounces. And I had to let them devils come in my house and smile with them and sing to my daughter, nurse feed her. So I just want people to know, while we try to get this business and stuff going, and while we try to make things happen, like you say, don't be posting my stuff online until I get trademarks and everything. We shouldn't be on TV showing our teeth, trying to let everybody know what we trying to be, because we've been doing that for so long, and they've been tearing us down because we were going after certain things. That's gold. The society don't want us to prosper at all. They never did. It's not because it's our fault. No, the only thing we were at fault at was inviting them into our cookout. That's what we went wrong. And interracial sexual access. I heard the one young lady said something about, our own black people turned on us when we said it was a black-owned business. Oh, just because they're interracially sexually accessed. That's why. Your business didn't do nothing wrong. A black-owned business, you're supposed to be proud this about yourself, but you hate yourself so much you're going to go after a business that's black-owned. Oh, because you're married to a white man? Is that what that is? Oh, because you're in love with a white woman? Oh, that's what that is? You're not going to help support, and you're going to help tear down this business because you have sexual love for someone who really don't care nothing about you. So that's all I wanted to say. Not this two mic out.
Could y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Listen, I propose that we go in a circle. I'm representing Courtney, Omega. We're going to go in a circle. Whatever the table question is, you're open to propose it. But I think the last thing we were talking about, the sister was on point. I appreciate her. She got a lot of love for her own kind. And I know the language. I know the voice. But there's a brother who came on. A couple of brothers, I want y'all to introduce yourself, and then after you introduce yourself, I do have an expression relating to the solution. I do want to say this a little bit right here, and I want y'all to introduce yourself. Number one, I'm part of a board member of Atlanta, and I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about this black thing I'm doing, the Black Youth Congress. We're establishing a board. Our board membership is basically, we're forming a committee so we can actually learn to panelize in a circle. So let me just say, I'm gonna go in a circle after y'all introduce yourselves, the two brothers that came on, and I'm gonna ask you, what are some solutions that we should have since our businesses, are so, which is true, are so, off late. But let me hear the two brothers. Who are you and what you're about? And then I'm gonna go with the question in the circle. What is the solution?
My name is J. Rich Late Show. I didn't really understand the question, but
the volume was low. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I didn't. I think you said what's one of the solutions. I think that pulling together our buying power. I know a lot of people on here seem to be from Atlanta. I live outside of Baltimore, and I joined the UNIA ACLU Atlanta chapter because we had just started up a Baltimore one about a month ago. One of the things that we should do is join these groups. Not only join these groups, but be active in these groups, because one of the things that we do for the UNIA Baltimore chapter is every other week we bring on business owners. We bring on business owners. We bring on activists to educate people, and then we have to take that information and we have to spread it to others. One of the biggest things, like the last young lady just said, when we start talking about supporting black business, one of the things that we have to realize, and a lot of things, one of the things that people overlook a lot of times is just the lack of knowledge. Sometimes it's not all about the money that you can give somebody. The knowledge that you can give somebody is so much more powerful than just putting a dollar in their pocket, because now they have the education and the know-how to go and make that dollar on their own. You've actually saved them a bunch of money that would have been wasted, and all like these different things that if they would have known.
Right.
And for me, trying to get into like a couple of different business adventures, and I'm not talking about any of like these stupid pyramid things. I'm talking about like a real business, um the moment someone talks to you like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and then you start laying out a plan, and they already have a business established, and you're like, all right, well, how did you do this? All of a sudden the conversation gets real short. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh well, you just gotta look into it. Look where, you know, into it. And it's just like, and it's that type of attitude, you know what I
It's
mean?
that
And
crab in the
sometimes,
bucket mentality.
exactly. When my cousins called and said that, hey man, you know what I mean, we should get together. One of the things, like, and I hope this goes to answer your question. So it's about 6 or 7, let's say 8 of us. We got together. We all sitting there. We all have kids. I have grandkids, and we all said, you know what, man, we need to have some type of generational wealth. We need to do something. And one of my cousins is a real estate agent, and he's like, man, it's a lot of real estate in Baltimore going cheap. So what we did, we sat down, we came up with a plan. We came up with a base fee of what everybody had to put down to get our investment started. And after we got everybody paid in that base fee for this many months, everybody is going to put in this each month. And we all sat down and we voted on it. Yeah, man, like, you know what your finances are. Nobody here is trying to play Big Willie. Like, nah, I think we need to, everybody put in 1,000 a month. You know what I mean? It was nothing outrageous because it was so many people. You know what I mean? You didn't have to be outrageous. You didn't have to be over the top. So at the end of the year, we got X amount of money. At the end of 2 years, we didn't almost doubled our money and triple what it is that we put in from the very beginning. Now we have enough capital to go and buy something. Now we have enough capital to start reinvesting in our own neighborhoods. One of the biggest thing, and I think somebody else said it as before, is that the biggest employers of outside of the U.S. government, the biggest employers of blacks are blacks. So we have to start investing back into like our community, and the only way to, and one of the biggest things that got messed up during segregation is the thought that, and one of the things that we were discussing here today is the thought that our products and what it is that we bring to our own people isn't as good as what somebody else has. And like you said, most of the time what we have is much better because it was made by hand. Somebody sat down in their living room, they sat down wherever it was, and they crafted that. They put it together. It's not over in Taiwan. It's not over in Vietnam. It's not over in Malaysia. Being put together by little kids. These are your aunts, your uncles, your cousins sitting down and sewing this material. They're putting this stuff together. I get annoyed sometimes when I see some of like these ads that have depictions of us on like the front. And I give you an instance. Went to Jamaica with my wife. My wife is Jamaican, so we went there for like our honeymoon. My first time ever going. And I'm looking around, man, and it's just so much land there. And you can do gardening. You can grow just about anything you can think of there. So when we went to the shop and I'm getting ready to buy a shirt, I'm looking at the tag. You know what I mean? Because I only want to buy stuff that was made in Jamaica. I'm looking at the tag and I see made in China, made in China, made in China. They got like the little bows. They got all these little trinkets. Everything on there is made in China. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, come on, man, what is this, man? You know what I mean? Like, y'all got, like, you don't have a textile here? You don't have a textile company here? And she was
Yeah.
like, oh, Kanai was here. But then everybody got greedy and wanted more
Yeah, I
money
had a
than
friend
he
in
was making.
China who asked for she asked her sister to bring her an American souvenir, So she brought her the Statue of Liberty, and her friend and her sister in China turned it upside down. They said "Made in China." She said, "It's not an American souvenir. This is made in China." But it was the Statue of Liberty, and her sister just grabbed it and picked it up. But she asked for a souvenir and couldn't get a souvenir because that was made in China too. Even the American souvenirs. So, I mean, that's really funny. But, the Chinese got us beat because this is the thing. The Chinese, we have child labor laws. Chinese put them kids in that shop and them kids got to go to work. I'm actually not mad at them. The little kids they gonna play Xbox otherwise. Put them little kids to work. Let them get off the lunch. But let them go to school. They get home, put them to work. But I'm teasing. But and then the thing is that they'll have sweatshops, factories line up back to back. And I've seen it. And to be honest with you, I've seen the sweatshop where my t-shirts are made. And it is a sweatshop. The shop they line up back to back. But look, they will sell me a shirt for like maybe $2. And I sell it for $20 after I put my design on it. Put my design on it, honey. My design, my daughter's graphic design, like she did that. And I'll sell it for $20, but it only cost me $2 from China. And some people glad for that money. And so this is the thing is that, but Americans, oh no, we want to be paid well more. We want minimum wage to be $15 an hour. So what can I show my t-shirt for? If you getting paid $15 an hour. $40, $50, I ain't paying $40 on a t-shirt. I never will. But and so we can't beat them when it comes to made in China. We can't beat that. And if we make it by hand ourselves, you got to pay the price because that's somebody's time. And
that's what I'm saying.
We want to get paid. And and so I can't. So I don't really fault them for going outside. Like Beyonce got caught with a sweatshop. Mariah Carey got caught with a sweatshap.
They all got caught.
You can't fault them, because I looked at American shops first, but American shops, that were willing to do my t-shirts, they were wanting $15 and $20 off the top, and I was like, well, what am I gonna charge? And so I ain't gonna lie, my t-shirts made in a sweatshop, probably by some kids. They family need that money. Look, their family need that money. Those kids don't work, they don't eat. And so anyway, but I'm just teasing. But the thing is that you have to kind of be realistic about it because your profit margin is important to you. Otherwise, why are you doing it? And so because you don't want to break even, you want to make a profit to move on. And so I'm not necessarily against the sweatshop, but if it's like a specialty item that can only be found in Jamaica or wherever, then that's great. And charge the fee, and when people can see the value of your product, then but for a t-shirt, I ain't paying no more than $20 for a t-shirt, and that's kind of a lot too. When I go to the flea market, I sell them for less than $20. But in my store online, my passionatebliss.myshopify.com, it's about $22. And so and this is the thing is that you want to be realistic, but at the flea market, like I said, I sell it for less. I let them haggle me. If I ain't done nothing all day, I'll let them haggle me. Okay, go ahead. 2 for 1, and so you can do that, when you set it up, because if I sell it 2 for 1, and I sell $20, it ain't cost me but $2 to get made because I bought it in bulk, from China. I still made a profit either way. And so that's the thing is that that's why I said make sure when you create something, put in the profit margin so that if they want to haggle, let them haggle. And they love you and you love them too. And so that's my thing is that, and you also mentioned about networking together and paying a certain amount a month, and that it sounds good and you want to support and be behind it, and that's okay, but you have got to have that all specifically legally documented.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Your money and run. And so you have to.
We signed a lot of paperwork.
Every minute. If I pay $1,000 to you, it's going to you in the event, and that contract has to say in the event that this does not go through, you will be returning it by this date. Otherwise, because I had to take people to small claims court. Matter of fact, my ex-fiance, I had to take him to small claims court because he didn't want to pay me back $2,000 because we broke up. I was like, no, this we broke up don't mean you don't owe me my $2,000. We were working together as a couple. And so I took him to small claims court. And when he got served with the papers, he paid me back my money. And that's the thing is that, that was my fiance. He was going to be my husband. But, we broke up. But the thing is that, he thought it was so funny. I said, sign this document. You need to sign this that you owe me this money. And he was like, he said, oh, that's so cute. He was laughing at the time. He just signed a little paper, and a few months later, because he thought it was so cute, I was making him sign it. I said, it'll make me feel better. I'll have more peace in my heart if you sign this paper. I can't go on another day. He was like, okay. And he signed the paper thinking it was cute. But when we broke up, it wasn't cute no more. He called me. He said, I got this. I was served with the papers for the $2,000. I'll bring it to you tomorrow. And so that's okay. If you want to network with your people and you want to, support each other, that's okay. But it has got to be. I don't care if it's your mama. um, they got to sign a contract.
Oh yeah,
Saying, acknowledging that they
Okay.
received it, acknowledging that
no
they
doubt.
owe it to you. You got to contract it, and just say, hey, even if they make me insulted, maybe they will, maybe they won't, but you have to say, hey, this will make me sleep better. I won't feel good. I can't give you this money. My heart is heavy. Whatever you have to say to get them to sign that paper, get them to sign it, because you'll be surprised how quick your mama, your sister, your brother will flip the script on you when money is involved. And so I'm very leery about going into business activities with friends and family members, because I've seen them flip money, and I flip right with along with them. Because because I got this little paper right here. Okay, so you think I'm cute? You think I'm cute because we're going to the courthouse right now. And so you think I was going to the courthouse, but I did, because at the time, everything's all good. And so and so I agree with working together in partnerships, and things you have to be worried about too, because I've had my company is a LLC, but I have
Right.
had it where it's a corporation, and I had 3 different people, and that ex-fiance, he was on my corporation. He was on my board of directors, and and they can vote you out. If you have a board of directors, and if they outnumber you, and you fall out with 2 or 3 of them, they get together, they can vote you out of your own company. And so when I broke up with that boyfriend, I had to be nice to him, even though I wanted to be nasty and cuss him out and everything. I had to be nice to him, and I had to get him to sign a letter that said, that he was withdrawing from my board voluntarily. So I had to get him to withdraw from my board voluntarily, and then I find out papers at the courthouse. And so so it's very tricky when you enter into different type of legal agreements with friends, and with family members and relatives, and you want to make that clear up front. This is legal, okay? And so more than anything else, that's the thing that I recommend more than anything else is be legal with all of it.
Right.
Oh,
I'm going to cut you off. I want to finish hearing the brother. I want to go in a circle because we're going to close. I want to go in a circle, but you making a really good point, and I have to tell you, you got a lot of knowledge. But the brother was saying, go ahead and finish up, and let's go in a circle so we can all get an opportunity to say something. And I don't know the closing time. Courtney, could you text us and say, is it 10 or is it 10:30? Because it's about to close. I want to hear everybody's positive. What is the solution? That's all I want to hear.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The number one thing, like I said, yes, and I agree with you. And we did, we drew up contracts. Everybody had to sign. Everybody got a copy of that contract, so on and so forth. That's one of the biggest things that we need to do. The other biggest thing that we need to do is to start buying back property in these so-called communities that they call ours, because most of the time we are delegated to a certain part of the city, a certain part of the county, and they say it's ours, but they give us like the worst of it. They through like the 80s with the crack and the laws and the drugs and everything else, they give us the most decimated part of like the city or the county, and then they say, oh well, that's the black community. Nah, that's not the black community. This is the black district that you put us in, but it's not our community. Our community is where we buy and where we own property. So the next thing we need to do is to, like I said, even if you can start up your own little investment group, whether it's you and about 4 or 5 other people, and you can buy like a acre of land, buy that acre of land, buy 2 acres, buy 3 acres, and you keep going until we actually have our own community. The basics for any success in this country is going to come through economics. It's got to come through economics. Once you have economics, then you can move to like the political base. But the number one thing is we have to educate each other on how to run businesses. I know it was a thing about, black customer service. Well, most of the time the person that you're dealing with doesn't own the business. And if they knew if this person was representing their business in that way, they would either let them go or they'll pull them to the side and be like, man, your attitude got to change. You need to go and talk to actually speak to the owner. Because I've seen so many times where, our women have been disrespected in like these Asian stores, whether it's like the carry out, whether it's like the hair's place, and then they turn around and they keep going back, but let them have one problem in the black shop. I'm never going there again. And it's just like, come on, man, we got to change that mentality, man. And like I said, this whole mentality started, they put this in our minds long before segregation to make us start to think and move away from our own businesses. That was the worst part of segregation. Like, yeah, segregation is cool. You can go and you can live wherever you want to live, but we sacrificed our own businesses and our own financial foundation when that happened. I give you another example. Don's Barbershop. I've actually personally been to Don's Barbershop. Back in the early 90s, early 2000s, he was one of the first barbershops that had like PlayStations and Nintendos set up in the joints for like the kids can come in, and he just did all different stuff, constantly changing it around, you know what I mean, changing like the atmosphere, getting rid of people that you know what I mean, disturb the whole vibe. I don't know how many black men are in here, but when you go to the barber shop, you just want to have some jokes, listen to some music, and sit back and relax and get your hair cut. You don't want to be in there with a whole bunch of drama with dudes talking about they're gonna fight this guy and do this and do that. But the number one thing is economics. We got to bring our economics together. We got to have that financial base. We got to start buying up property and building our own community and not let them dictate to us what's our community and where we can live and what it is that we can have. Economics, 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 economics.
Economics, I like that. Let me hear you, sister. What's the solution? We're going in a circle, so whoever's next, we can go left or right, doesn't matter.
Is that sir with that low mic? Sir, turn that mic up. I can't hear nothing you saying. Can y'all hear sir, or is it just me?
We're going in a circle. We're going in a circle. Those are left or right, doesn't matter. Sister, you're next. What's the solution? What's the solution?
The solution, I say we definitely need to sit down with more attorneys and get into the habit of financial planning and doing it right the first time so we can start getting into the generational wealth. We can start building wealth and expanding into the forex trading, gold and silver, carat bars, cryptocurrency, and all that. Because as the currency changes, the dollar is not going to be worth the paper that it's even written on. So we have to change along with the times, and we have to get into that generational wealth, sitting down with accountants, sitting down with attorneys, financial planning, and things like that. So I would say more education, learning economics, business, and things like that.
Well said, well said. All right, sister, next to you with us. I didn't catch her name. What's the solution?
Keisha.
They are both saying economics. Keisha, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think a solution is that even before you actually start your business, you should actually be networking with a lot of people. So you should be exchanging numbers, exchanging emails, exchanging Instagram. Like earlier, I was posting a lot of people's Instagrams. I didn't get people's emails, but I posted their Instagrams, websites, blah, 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 because you actually need to have contacts. You can't do this alone. You can lie to yourself, but you can do this alone. But then you'll realize that if you do this alone, that you'll deal with other people who don't have your best interests at heart. Like you'll be forced to deal with other groups of people who could care much less about you. I know you're laughing, but yeah, that's the importance of networking. So you see how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on the panel. We could be exchanging emails and contacts and making sure that if we have friends who already own businesses in certain sectors, that we recommend those people to each other. That's something that we could definitely be doing.
Wow. Well said, well said. I guess it's on me right quick. Solution would be building relationship. What does that mean? Somehow connecting, just like you said, with email information, who we are, connecting and see what kind of business we got, sharing that, networking, getting to know one another, growing a friendship and a business ship as well at the same time. That's where it starts. Relationship is highly underestimated. We have to get to know one another once again. All right, brother, what's your that's my mic. That's my mic. What's your solution, my brother? I didn't get your name as well.
Oh, I guess it's me, Donnie. Donnie goes in on all social media and YouTube. I guess my 2 cents would be just like y'all said, developing relationships and business relationships. I recalled my teacher, Master Lee, a brother that taught me how to cut hair, everything I know. What I learned from him was developing relationships. Everywhere I followed him and he went in any store, I don't care who It was the Chinese carryout. Everybody knew who he was when he left. He made sure he knew who owned the stores. He got on a friendly basis. He made friends with everyone. And I noticed that when he went back, everywhere he went back to, they would call him by his name. They would give him better service no matter what race, no matter what place it was. And I saw that and I learned from him that, we gotta, like everybody said, we gotta make contacts and we gotta to be able to negotiate, because even though we would love to have a place where we can do everything black owned, realistically at this point, we might have to buy from some of these other people until we can get our own done. But so we need to develop relationships and we need to focus on customer service. It's lacking, but we need it. And we also need to recognize we going in some of these places. And I'm gonna throw out the carry out because my cousin said the carry out. I noticed this a long time ago going there. That's why I never go there anymore, because I walked in the door one time, went to the counter and saw them getting ready to eat. They had a table in the back and nothing they put on the table for them looked like anything on the menu. I asked them, what was that? They told me it wasn't on the menu. From that point, I knew they were trying to kill us because everything else on the menu was fried this, whatever, and it was some garbage. So these people have no love for us. They are not in it to help us. They in it for their own benefit and purposes. So we need to do the same thing. It's not about hate. It's about self-love. We need to love each other enough to know that we got to look out for one another. And we got to bring the next generation up, teaching them basic business skills that they don't teach in school so that they can go and be the next group of entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Well said,
okay,
well
sir.
Said. Sister with the big smile and the white shirt. What's the solution?
Sir.
Uh-huh.
Am I giving my closing thoughts now?
No, the sister with the big smile. We're going in a circle with a nice, cute smile and white shirt.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, so yeah, as far as my final closing thought is that don't no question is a stupid question. If you don't know the answer to it, it's not a stupid question. If you do know the answer to it, then it is a stupid question and you get on my nerves. But the thing is that, don't be afraid to, there is a Black Chamber of Commerce in most cities. There is the Black Business Directory. That's on Instagram. Don't be afraid to look for Black resources, and don't be afraid to ask any questions, no matter how simple. Avoid people who are vague, who have that, because they have a crab in a bucket mentality. If you dig, it's like you digging for teeth and gold. Ask them any simple question, leave them alone. They have a crab in a bucket mentality. But the thing is this, and I was telling Courtney when I first met her, what's for you is for you, and what's for them is for them. So me withholding information from you is pointless, because if you do it and you take off and you skyrocket and pass me by, that's what's for you. And so my thing is that, what's for me is for me, and make sure the person has a good mentality. And if you can't get jack out of them, leave them alone. Go to somebody else. Look at another directory, another chamber of commerce. You can go to any flea market or bazaar or whatever your community offers, where Black people, collect, and you see Black business owners, or even it's Black History Month and they have different programs set up in Black History Month. Go to those, and don't be afraid to collect information, because you can waste a lot of money. And this is what I will tell you, because I felt like, because when I first got started, I said, okay, I have to get a trademark. I thought that I had to get the images trademarked, so I spent $475 to get a trademark for this face. Okay, but this is copyright protected, and you know what a copyright protection costs? $55 for 10. So all these images that I have, I got them all copyright protected for $55. But I wasted $475 thinking I had to get that trademark. I thought I had to get the image trademarked, but because I didn't know, I didn't ask nobody. The people let me file that thing, and then the lawyer called me after it went through 3 months. My check done cleared. She said, "Oh, yeah, you can't get an image trademark unless it's going to be on the tag on the inside." So I wasted $475 because I just didn't know. So, and that's the thing is, if you're serious and you want to be protected, ask somebody before you do stuff. Don't be afraid to ask people, because you might think you know, but you actually don't, and you can waste a lot of time, and you can actually waste a lot of money on stuff that you don't need to do. My name is actually Corinne Singleton, and that's my email, Corinne S_Singleton at outlook.com. And you can email me. And I'll probably give you my phone number because I'm lousy with emails. I look at my email maybe once a week or every other week, And so I'm lousy with emails. But if I see that you've emailed me and you tell me, where you saw me, where you met me from, I'll answer you within a week, and I'll give you my phone number. That's what I'm actually gonna do. I'll give you my phone number because I ain't gonna answer my emails. But anyway, and so the thing is that don't be afraid to ask somebody. There isn't a stupid question if you don't actually know the answer. And so I'm citing, Black Chamber of Commerce, Black Business Directory, any of it, Black History Month. Go to all those Black History Month events with all those Black people and network with them, and just ask before you start making an actual move. And don't forget the legality of it. It don't matter if it's your mama. My daddy actually made my mama sign an IOU one time. She never paid it. My son even told him, "Grandma's not going to pay you back, Grandpa." And she did it. She finally admitted she wasn't going to pay me. And my daddy comes to, "Your mama didn't pay me back." So you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised who will turn on you when it comes to money, and just say, "Hey, we got to do this." Even if you want to say, "Hey, my lawyer told me to do this," lie to them, whatever. It doesn't matter who it is backing you. You got to have it on paper. No matter how much you love them and how much they love you, you'll be surprised what will come out when money's involved. And so those are my thoughts and my advice for today. It was a wonderful panel. I love meeting you guys all. And send me your email addresses and stuff, and I'm happy to talk to anybody. And so, sir, you need to turn your volume up, sir. I cannot hear you, sir. And they said it wasn't just me; they said it was you, sir. And so, but sir has my phone number and my email.
The brother that's next in the circle, it look like he got a black shirt with some words on. I can't see it. What's a positive solution? What's our solution, brother? Yeah, one more brother. I'm gonna get your name. I can't see the main screen. You the last one. I didn't say anything. With the beard, with the mustache. You got on a black sweater.
Yeah, it's me, Sir Senior. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Well, as always, I wanted to thank everybody for coming. Like, I just appreciate everybody showing up. It's Saturday. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. You feel me? I guess my take from today is that, we look around and we say, well, there's nobody to help us, and there's nobody to work with us, and there's nobody. But closed mouth don't get fed. So if you open your mouth and you look for people, you'll find other people. You might have to come on a platform like this. You may not be able to look in your, immediate vicinity, but you can find somebody who's willing to, give you that word of encouragement, to give you that little bit of knowledge to help you go in the right way, or just help you feel better. So you can take that time to shake off whatever you was dealing with, so you can get back to doing what you need to do. Um, I would just say that we got to continue to make sure that we big up each other, because you never know, that little nice word that you give somebody could, make their day. It could stop them from going down, a bad path. It can bring them back. And, one day they'll have that word for you. And just everybody just be safe, be blessed, be certain. Um, and go for what you really want to do. We spend a lot of times doing stuff that other people want to do or want us to do. We spend a lot of time doing stuff that we shouldn't do, or we settle and we'll do like the third thing that we want to do because we think we can't do one and two. Shoot, you might could do one and two. You got to try it first, and do it the Jamie Foxx way. He wanted to act and sing, but he couldn't do it, up front. So he started doing comedy, and then he put his singing and his comedy. So maybe you want to, cook, and you can't do that up front. Do something else, and you can, you might be good at speaking. Have some speaking engagements, and you serve refreshments afterwards, and people can sample your food, or you can sell, your plates or whatever it is. So just try to find a new way to do whatever you want to do. Don't give up on yourself, and there's always somebody out there who want to work with you, even if not family, friends. There's somebody who's out there who believe in you, and you worth it. So make it happen.
Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. I guess did everybody get a comment in? Everybody finished with their final comment?
Yep.
Yeah, and I can't see the chat, so you have to let me know if I got a question or a comment or whatever.
Yeah, people are asking you for your email.
Yeah.
It's CORINES_Singleton SINGLETON @outlook.com.
Okay.
That's how you know she old school. She got an outlook.
Okay. Represent Courtney. As soon as y'all finish y'all final comments, let's glow. This is Courtney. I represent her, and I'm doing a poor job, but let everybody glow and love their families and have a nice day. It's 10 o'clock. Wonderful panel. This cannot be the last, because this is just the beginning. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to make it, because usually I work 10:30 to 7 every day. So a lot of Courtney's lives that are at 5 p.m. I miss. Sometimes if I'm not busy, I can listen, because I work at home on my computer. But most of her lives I do miss. So I am glad that I was able to catch the 7:31. And it was nice to meet you all.
What's your clothing name? I can only see team something in the background and the face. On your t-shirt.
What t-shirt?
Behind you.
Oh, my t-shirt.
What's the name? Is that the one you
this
said?
is my I've been on Courtney. I have a t-shirt line, and because my channel is a relationship channel, and because I feel like Black men and women need to reconnect, and so I created this t-shirt line. First it was just me talking to Black men, and it was her, okay, and then I felt like it was a one-sided conversation.
Yeah.
So I created the mail line so that he can answer her. Like on this one just I have four different t-shirt lines. This is the first one. This is the only one that's rolled out yet. I'm having the devil of a time with my graphic design artist. But this one, it's just emotion. She asked for love, and he has to answer her. And this is her man. He's saying #Team Black Love. And so my lines, they all have a male and female component, and they speak to each other. And because I feel like that as Black people and Black men and women, we've forgotten how to talk to each other. We've forgotten how to love each other because, and I've listed my stats before. And check my other panel that I did with Courtney. I think it was like a week or two ago. But anyway, where I talked about how I feel like the Black community is in a crisis, and where 72% of our children are being raised in a single parent home from this is the 1998 census that spanned a 48-year time. And it shows how I feel like we don't know how to speak to each other because we have a generation of children that didn't have their man in the home. And so he wasn't there not only to model for his son how to speak to a woman, but he didn't get to model for his daughter how to speak to a man and how to ask for what you need. And so I feel like it takes a village, to raise a child, but the village has been told to shut up. The village has been told to mind their business. The village has been told don't touch my child. And so the village has gotten silent. And we're not saying, that's not right. It's not okay anymore. And so I feel like there needs to be a dialogue sparked. And so when I created this line, like I said, before, the first t-shirt I wore, it was her. And if you'll notice, it's very personal because this is my mouth. This is my face and my mouth. You can see, because my daughter's a graphic design artist. I sent her various pictures of me and I said, create these. And so it was me talking, so that's why I'm personally invested in this line. And so the first t-shirt I made said, I decide, because I had decided, because I'm a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for 22 years and my children have all left the nest. And I decided at that point, it's about me now. I can do what I want to do. And I said, what I want to do. And I felt like, I feel like, I'm wonderful and fabulous, and one of my friends said, you don't look that bad. Why you got no man? And so I felt like it was because, of different things, that were going on between us as men and women. Because, I'm quick to dump a guy. And my son told me, like I said on the last video, he said, you got 5 more years to look good. You need to quit dumping these guys. And the thing is that I felt like because they weren't talking to me the right way or saying things, and men were perceiving us as aggressive or masculine. And maybe we are, because the men weren't there. 70% of our children are being raised in single parent homes. Now, I had 2 parents. They've been married for 54, 55 years. But a lot of people didn't. And because the village was told to shut up, our kids, are listening to rap music. They call each other bitches and hoes and, all this kind of stuff. And so I created this line for us to speak to each other. Now, like I said, the first t-shirt I made was called I Decide. And so because I had decided this is what I'm going to do. And I decided, I'm going to decide how I'm going to be spoken, how I'm going to be loved, how I'm going to be treated, what I'm going to do, And so when I wear the t-shirt out, I always got a comment. And because I remember the first time I wore it out, I was at a gas station and this guy didn't know me. And I think so I heard this story before. He didn't know me, but he said to me, well, what's the decision? I said, what? And because I forgot I had the shirt on. And he said, well, what's the decision? And he said, what's the decision? You say you're going to decide. So what's the decision? I said, oh, well, I don't know. Well, whatever it is, I'll be making it. And he said, and he left. So the t-shirt sparks dialogue. And my sister, when she wears my t-shirt, she said that she always gets dialogue too. Somebody will ask her about her shirt. And so I feel like this is the way to get this message out of my head, out of my house, out of my mind, into the community. I'm going to put on t-shirts and somebody's going to start talking, And so my different lines say different things. I have the ratchet line. And she was saying, you like it, and I also have the, they say different things depending on their stage of development. I have the Queen's line, and her said, woman, sister, mother, queen. And then I also have the, what's the other girl line? The guy, his line is the icon, but each of them they all have a mate. This is her mate. And each one has a different image. They go together and they speak to each other. Whatever she says, because I was telling my guy, I was saying, I'll make me a t-shirt called I Need Attention, because I think he hadn't called me in a day or something. I'll make a t-shirt that said I need attention. And he said, yeah, right. I said, no, his answer is gonna be I see you. Okay. And then, one of the thing is that, one of the t-shirt lines says, I see you looking. And and so, it says different things depending on your stage of development. And it's 4 different lines. This one is the emotions line. It's the only one I have rolled out now in my store, which is my passionatebliss.myshopify.com. And so as I go forward, I'm rolling out these lines. And so at this point, I'm finalizing the images with the graphic design company, which is torturous. But anyway, but that's who I am, and that's what I do, and that's what my t-shirts are about. So this particular one, it's the only one you can see right now. This is the emotions line. It also says other things, not just love. It says hope, faith, strength, courage. It's different things on it, and he has to answer her. For whatever emotion she expresses, he has to answer her. And all of my lines, whatever, if there's a female t-shirt, there is a male version. And I have, and the men look different. Like this guy, he has no head, he has no scalp. And as he gets older, he's got a goatee. And then when he gets a little younger, he has a close beard. And then when he gets to the King's line, he has a full bushy beard and a bald head. And so it represents, the different phases of life and what you would say or should say, in that phase of life. So, for me, it's not just a t-shirt line. It's a mission, it's a message, and it's a goal. And my goal is to trigger dialogue that will reunite us so that we're not at a 72% single parent home anymore, so that we're not having bitches and hoes conversation, so that we're not having half of our marriages ending in divorce, those of us who do actually get married. So so that's me and my little thing. Not I'm trying to take over the show or nothing like that. So but since you asked, I tell you now I can talk all day, but but I'm gonna
I just subscribed too.
Like I said, you guys got my email. You can always email me, and I'll give you my phone number, because Lord knows that I ain't gonna answer the emails too often. I'll respond to a text. If you text me, I'll text you within minutes. But an email, child, it might be a week. on too. But anyway, so but definitely for sure, I'm available to you. Anybody can talk to me at any time about anything, if it's personal, private, professional, whatever. I will answer you. But if you remember, it's gonna be a week. anyway, but things that I love, I love black people, I love black men, I love my culture, my community, and I've always sought to give back, because that's why I've been a nurse for 22 years, so I can give back to my community. And when I, no longer had that as a desire, because nurses do get burned out, this was my new passion. That's why the company is Passionate Bliss. That's why my name is Passionate Bliss online, because it's my new passion. And when you work at something that is your passion, it's bliss. And so that's the reason for the name of the company, and that's the name of the line and my channel and everything. And so I'm here for you guys. I'm here for you guys, because I don't have the crab in the bucket. What's for you is for you. And if I give you something, you make $1 million, and I only made 20, that's your million. You was meant to get that million. So I don't withhold information. There's no point in that, to me, in my way of thinking. And so you're certainly welcome to reach out to me. And I'm here for you. Will you guys be there for me?
I'll be here for you, but I don't like that part where he gotta be bald when he get old. Like, I like my hair. Like, it took me a while to get these waves. You feel me?
But I got a whole line where he's got no hair. It's two of my lines. He's got a goatee and no hair. One line he's got a goatee and no hair, and this one he's got a mustache and no hair. And that's what I said, because I got pissed off with my graphic designers, because she said to me, do we have your permission to alter the images? And I should have said no. I said, but sometimes when you trust them, because like I have a white version, because I want the white people money too. I have a white version of every one of these. And so my last graphic design artist, I wanted to make one for my doctor, and they said, real men wear stethoscopes. And he was a white man with a beard and a bald head. And so I said, this is the image. I said, just make a t-shirt for my doctor. I don't really care. And he put because I'm not invested in the white line. Is that bad to say? But anyway, so he, I said, just do what you want to with the white line. He did. He put a stethoscope and everything in it. He said, women wear stethoscopes and everything. And so he made it. And so, whatever you need, it can be there. So, but I felt like as an older man, he might have a bald head, but for all of my lines, they're all gonna say love and hashtag Team Black Love. So there will be one with just the goatee. There will be one with a full beard and goatee, and there'll be the bald headed one. But so if you like this guy here with the empty head, this is your man. And even the icon, he's got no hairline either. The only male that has a hairline is the King's line, and he's got the bald head. But other than that, they don't have hairlines for that reason. Because that's what I told them. Because when I gave it to the graphic designers, they put bald heads on they put a bald head on him. I said, remove that bald head, and they colored in his face. And I said, no, remove that bald head and remove the color. He's never to have color. And I didn't ask you to put a head on him. They put a head on him. I said, no, because I said, this is the thing. I said, because you guys keep sending me images. It's not what I asked you for. This is the thing. Black men can wear their hair in cornrows. They can wear dreads. They can wear it knotted up. They can have it bald. They can have a fade. They can have a high top. I said, black people have so many ways that they can wear their head. I deliberately left him with no scalp. I deliberately left him with no hairline on purpose, so that you, sir, would not see the bald head man say, that ain't me. But you might see this guy and say, okay, yeah, that's me. Because he ain't got nothing on his head, And he might have a goatee, might have a close beard, might have a bushy beard. So you would still be able to identify with this man, because he don't have no hairline. And so, yeah. So don't be offended by the bald head, for the King's line, sir. The other lines don't have hairlines, and they will say exactly what you want them to say. And the thing about it is that, I'm open to suggestion. If you think of an idea that you want my shirt to say, just tell me. I'll make a shirt for you. But she don't have something to say about it now. So that's that. But yeah, I'm, and one of the things they were trying to say, oh, when you make your website, you can make it so that the customer can put what they want on their t-shirts. I said, absolutely not, because this is a real person. When I created this line, this guy I broke up with, that's a real person. That's his real face. And like I said, this is my real face. All the female images are my face. The male images, bald head guy, he's a combination of two of my older guy friends. And so these are real people. They have to look like what I want them to look like. But anyway, I can talk forever about my line, and so, but like I said, I'm here, I'm available for you guys, and you can email me, and I'll give you my number, and I'll probably end up texting you if you want. But yeah, so sir, that's a long answer. See, sir, if you ask me any question, you're gonna get a long, thorough answer.
I think
That's what you get for asking me a question.
I think Courtney has to have you back on a separate show, but.
I was. Matter of fact, I think it was 3 hours. It's on there.
Oh,
it's a 3-hour show. I think was it last week or the week before? And what was your name, sweetheart?
My name's African Millennial.
Okay. I don't think I've seen you before, African Millennial. Okay. So yeah. So I'm done. That's all I have to say. Sir, are you closing us out? Or y'all have other things to say? I'm sorry.
I think he disappeared. I don't see his icon up here.
Huh?
I think he disappeared. I don't see his icon up there no more.
Donnie, do you want to close us out?
Yeah, well, I appreciate letting me spill my 2 cents and for everybody coming. I wish everybody peace and blessings, and I'll see you on the next live. We out.
Thank y'all so much for coming through. Until next time, y'all know what to do. Glow up.